last season carrying over to this season. Should be a dandy here today. John, Tom, back up to you guys.
Emily, thanks very much. There is your left fielder today, and that is Josh Hamilton, the new third baseman, Adrian Beltre. And there is another new guy. He is Mike Napoli over there at first base today. He'll see some time as the backup catcher, and the starting catcher today is a new man as well. The guy who will receive the first pitch from C.J. Wilson is Yorvi Torrealba, a signee in the offseason from the San Diego Padres. And we are underway playing baseball again at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. As we mentioned, Jacoby Ellsbury leading things off for Terry Francona and the Red Sox. And suddenly, it is 1-1 against C.J. Wilson. Official pitch, first pitch, 3:10, and it's 90 degrees officially. So it may be springtime, but the boys of summer are back, and early temperatures of summer are back as well.
It really does have the same feeling as postseason here in the ballpark on opening day. A lot of anticipation for the fans, high expectations, and the same buzz that was here during the postseason.
That one's fouled straight down. Make it 2 balls and 2 strikes as we begin to familiarize ourselves with all these new toys that Chuck Morgan has at his disposal. The scoreboards and the video screens, and we showed you just a glimpse of that. No doubt we'll be continuing to show you various things happening throughout the ballpark. All a part of $12.5 million worth of changes made during the offseason. That is straightaway center field, and that's a brand new video board too, also HD. The big screen that we showed you, as this one's fouled straight back, headed towards us, but not far enough. That big one there is a 5,000 square foot screen that is 6 times as large as the video screen that was there before. It too is high definition. There's a new screen out there in left field as well. And the full count pitch. Hit high, deep to right center field. Nelly has it though. He's got a beat on it. And he and Julio Borbon have miscommunication. Ellsbury stops at second base. From here it looked like Nelly had the clear call. He put his hands in the air, and then Julio came over, perhaps didn't see or hear him with the crowd as loud as they are.
I can tell you exactly what's happening right there. Julio struggled with his defense in spring training, and he's trying to take charge and be aggressive out there, and he was just a little bit overly aggressive because it's a routine fly ball to Nelly, who's underneath the ball. Julio came a long way to get it. He was calling for it. I doubt that Nelly heard him, and he was just trying to be aggressive on the first play of the season, and unfortunately it was a little bit over aggressive.
It's going to be a 2-base error, E8. So the error is given to Julio there. And Jacoby Ellsbury is on second base.
And it's all about learning how to play out there. When to be aggressive, when to not be aggressive. And you just have to understand when a veteran right fielder is underneath the ball waiting for it, that it's his ball. You can let him have that ball. Just trying to take charge and do the right thing, and unfortunately it just didn't work out.
Dustin Pedroia now, and he shows bunt and lays down a good one right in front of the plate, and it's a foul ball.
I think what happened was it hit the bat twice. Looked like it did anyway.
So we'll try it again with Pedroia. Terry Francona over there.
That ball bounced
Came
up.
back up and hit it, didn't it?
Bounced up and either hit him or the bat. Couldn't tell. Rangers playing Pedroia way around to right field. Nelly's pretty shallow and right toward the line. Julio's way over in right center field. Gives Pedroia a big gap out in left center field if he happens to go that way. I think they anticipate that the kind of hitter Pedroia is, he'll be trying to move the runner to third base by going the other way. Not quite as much with 2 strikes.
It's this one to left field. Josh Hamilton ranging back and makes the play. Tagging and heading towards third is Ellsbury, and the ball is cut off. So there's Josh Hamilton out in left field talking with Julio Bourbon, and you see the rest of the outfield. Josh, Julio, and Nelly. We've seen all of them already in the game. Adrian, Elvis, Ian, and Mike Napoli at first base. And there you see C.J. Wilson and Yorvi Torrealba is behind the place. That's your Rangers defense on this day. There's one out now with a runner at third base. And Carl Crawford, one of the new Boston Red Sox, making his Red Sox debut. We all remember him from his days with the Tampa Bay Rays, and the lefty stands in against the left-hander C.J. Wilson. His free agent signing was perhaps the biggest news of the offseason for the Red Sox, although the trade for Adrian Gonzalez was pretty big too. Both of those things happened within about 72 hours of each other.
Both those players are going to have a huge impact on the Red Sox. They're both going to be tremendous offensive players all the way around, but especially in that ballpark. They both hit the ball the other way, especially Gonzalez. I'm telling how many home runs he could hit in that ballpark. Last year he played in San Diego, where there was a lot of room in the outfield. A lot of those long fly balls will be off that green monster instead of being caught.
Yeah, it's been suggested he'll be playing cricket against the green monster. Just slapping balls out there to the short porch and left. This one's hit on a line towards Elvis. He makes the play. Runner has to hold.
Good pitch by CJ. Got the ball in on the fist, and it's not surprising. Left-hand hitters hit 144 against CJ last year. It's why J.D. Drew's not playing today. They had a slugging percentage of 176. He got that ball, ran it in on his fist and jammed him. And with the infield back, ground ball would have scored a runner. Fly ball would have scored the runner. CJ made a good pitch. And so far, he's kept that guy on third base.
So here comes Kevin Youkilis. Sixth opening day start for Kevin Youkilis. The other five have all been at first base. He moves over to third for Adrian Gonzalez, and that doesn't mean that his very unique and recognizable batting stance changes at all.
The Red Sox are fortunate to have a guy that's versatile like Youkilis who can make that move. It allowed them to sign Adrian Gonzalez.
This one is hit toward the wall in right field. It's off the wall. Run scores. Youkilis is headed towards second as Nelly gets the ball into Ian, and it's a run scoring double by Kevin Youkilis, and it's 1-0 Red Sox.
I would say it's tough to overcome a leadoff walk. It's really tough to overcome a leadoff two-out error against a team that sends up Pedroia, Crawford, Youkilis, and Gonzalez after the two-base error. CJ got the first two, but couldn't manage to get Youkilis, who drove it the opposite way. One of the reasons all these Red Sox hitters are such good hitters. They're not pull hitters. They use the whole field. They're hard to pitch to.
And here's the other new guy we were talking about, Adrian Gonzalez, acquired in the trade with San Diego for 4 minor leaguers just 72 hours before Carl Crawford signed. And this one is smashed into right field. Rounding third and headed towards home. Testing the arm of Nelly is Youkilis. He's there at second base. The play is made, though. Trying to stretch that into a double. Gonzalez is thrown out, but the run scores. It's 2-0 Red Sox. As Gonzalez tries to stretch that single into a double on the throw, and we're headed to the bottom of the first inning on opening day. fielding troops about what happened in that first inning. The error on the leadoff play, and the Rangers find themselves in a 2-0 hole. Here is the Rangers lineup for opening day, and manager Ron Washington. Kins in the top spot now. Ian's batted there all spring long, followed by Elvis and Josh. Adrian Beltre will be the cleanup hitter most of the time. Michael and Nelly in the 5 and 6 hole. Mike Napoli will bat 7th. You see Yorvi Torrealba and Julio Bourbon, who had a good spring at the plate, will occupy the 9th place in Ron Washington's batting order, and they'll all do that today against John Lester. Let's get the scouting report from Tom on him.
Now you're talking about one of the best pitchers in the American League, and last year's numbers would indicate why. He almost won 20 games, terrific ERA, 225 strikeouts in 208 innings. He started 7 times against the Rangers, and he's pitched well in those 7 games, 3-1 and ERA under 3. Career 61 and 25. Almost 40 games over 500.
This is hit deep, and Ian Kinsler starts off the season with a home run.
I think you see why Ian fits that leadoff role so well. He could take a walk, steal a base, he could bunt his way on, he could hit his way on, or he could start the game and put a run on the board with one swing of the bat. And not many leadoff hitters bring all those qualities to the table. And after giving up 2 unearned runs in the top of the inning, Ian gets one back with a fastball right down the middle from Lester, and he didn't get away with that one.
And the Rangers have cut the Red Sox lead in half as Elvis Andrus steps to the plate. Look at Ian swing. Quite a breeze blowing here today, and it might have affected Ian Kinsler's home run swing. It went 376 feet, so it's about 20 feet further than the edge of the wall as Elvis waves and misses there. The way the wind's blowing, you wondered if it was going to possibly blow it foul too, because it's kind of headed that way. But it stayed fair, and it allowed the Rangers to have that Red Sox lead. And the full count pitch. Actually, the had a bit of an error on the scoreboard, so it was not a full count. Now it's 2-2. That one makes it a full count. We were just foreshadowing what might happen if Elvis stayed patient at the plate. He was so good at seeing pitches in the leadoff spot last year, and Elvis Andrus proving he continues to be a patient hitter in the second spot. And this one is chopped toward third. Youkilis bobbles and can't make the play. Elvis Andrus is safe.
The Rangers got the advantage of a play that's not made at third base. Youkilis has won a Gold Glove at first base. He's probably not a Gold Glove candidate at third base, but he handles himself very well at third base. For a big guy, he's pretty agile, has a strong arm. He just bobbled a ball that I think for him is a pretty routine play. Just didn't make it that time.
Yeah, he had streaks of tremendous success defensively at first base, but he is adjusting or readjusting to that third base position, and now there's a runner at first base with nobody out for the reigning American League MVP, Josh Hamilton. Check of first, and I hope that our viewers at home can get a sense of just how into this the crowd is. Tom mentioned very much like the postseason for this opening day and this sellout crowd.
I enjoyed reading the Red Sox notes about Lester, what a perfectionist he is based on the season he had last year. I wouldn't think there's a whole lot of ways he can improve, but they said he spent all of spring training working on his pickoff move to try to improve that area of his game, which pretty much covers all the bases if that's all you have to work on.
19 wins for Lester last year. Lobs it over to first this time. He signed a 5-year, $30 million contract back in 08.
Haven't seen how they've ruled Elvis's play. They haven't put it up there yet, whether it's a hit or an error. Have an error for the Rangers, haven't got one for the Red Sox, but we only have one hit so far for the Rangers. So either they put an error up there now.
Now it's an error.
And I think it was a pretty routine play for Euclid.
That was a little outside to Josh. 88 miles an hour from Lester. And this one is grounded toward the hole. Second baseman making the play there is Scudero, and over to first for the double play.
Good pitch by Lester right there. He threw a pitch, got Josh to hit it right off the end of the bat. And with Scudero just going over towards second base, you can see the cutter that Lester likes to throw, and it worked perfectly. The cutter thrown that way doesn't break a lot, but what it does is it causes the bat to hit the ball on the end of the bat instead of the sweet spot of the bat, and the ball just is deadened and results in a softly hit ball, and that time right at the shortstop for an easy double play.
And now here comes Adrian Beltre, cleanup hitter for the Rangers, and a joy to watch at third base.
Lester throws a fastball, a cutter, curveball, and a changeup. And of the other pitches other than his fastball, he'll throw the cutter more than anything else.
There aren't too many chinks in his armor, but sporadic control, I guess, would maybe be one.
Yeah, you could say that about both Lester and CJ. CJ led the league in walks last year. They're two guys that are tough to hit, really good pitchers, but they can get even better by commanding their pitches a little bit better.
This one hit right between the legs of Lester. Over to make the play is second baseman Dustin Pedroia, and the side is retired, but not until Ian Kinsler hit his 14th career leadoff home run, and the Rangers have cut the Red Sox lead in half. It's 2-1 after one. Run, it's 2-1 Boston. over your Texas Rangers. And we welcome Jim Knox to the program and to the season of 2011. Knoxy.
And welcome to you, John and Tom. Look at this. We got twins on hand. Also, a couple guys 10 years in a row, opening day. Way to go, guys. Way to go. The big thing, Community Corner, we're talking about the Texas Rangers Welcome Home Luncheon took place yesterday. 650 fans on hand. Nolan Ryan talking to the crowd, as well as some of the Ranger players as they talk about the upcoming season. You want to be a part of that, you can do so. Rangers Foundation, call the number on your screen or call the Texas Rangers right there as you see on the screen. You guys stand up real quick. Nate's first game. And also Nate's birthday. Happy birthday, big guy. Enjoying the home opener. Way to go, guys. Thank you. John.
All right, Knoxy, thank you very much. Big Papi standing in there to lead off the second inning now against C.J. Wilson. And boy, that welcome home luncheon was a great event again yesterday. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house when Victor Vandergrift got up there and accepted that ring on behalf of his father and the entire family.
Well, one thing Victor acquired from his father is the gift of public speaking. His father was a master, and Victor is not too far behind him.
He was great yesterday, and I know you were at the Vandergrift funeral back in early January, and he was good there, I heard, too. But yesterday he was just great. As a bunch of great Rangers fans came to the luncheon, and there is the photo of Tom Vandergrift that is now on display in deep left field for the rest of the season. CJ off the mound, makes the play. And Big Papi is retired.
A lot of good pitches to Big Papi in that at bat. Cutter away, fastball up and in, and then got him with that hard cutter. Just a little tapper off the end of the bat. You know, you got a pretty good lineup when Big Papi's hitting sixth in your lineup.
No kidding.
I guess you could say the same thing about the Rangers with Nelly Cruz hitting sixth in your lineup. Pretty much the same deal.
Yeah, we talked to Wash about the Red Sox lineup, and he was saying the same thing. He said, well, we got a pretty good lineup over here, too. And not to take away from theirs, but two awfully good batting orders, and it now depends upon what the pitchers can do.
Well, a lot of people think the Red Sox have the best team in baseball with their lineup, and with Ellsbury, Pedroia, and Youkilis healthy this year. All three of those guys were hurt last year. With the depth in their starting rotation, adding Crawford and Gonzalez, I don't think anything short of a trip to the World Series will satisfy the Red Sox faithful.
There were plenty of people who thought that just getting those injured players back would be all the free agents that Terry Francona and the Red Sox needed, but Theo Epstein didn't stop there.
No, they were 17 or 18 games over 500 with all three of those guys hurt last year. So yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, he swung at it.
Yeah, he swung. Strike three, so he is out. Mike Cameron down on strikes.
Sure looked like Cameron swung. It was that hard cutter down and in that CJ will get a lot of strikeouts with. Can't really tell with that angle, but we'll tell from that angle. And yep, that's a swing.
Yep.
Doesn't feel like a swing to the hitter. And on that type of a swing, the hitter will complain almost every time until he sees the replay and says, wow, sure didn't feel like my bat went quite that far, but it did.
And here's Jared Saltalamacchia. He will split the catching duties with Veritek this year for the Red Sox. And, of course, Rangers fans remember him as the opening day catcher for the Rangers in each of the last two seasons. Takes a strike from his former battery mate, C.J. Wilson. Salty traded at the deadline to the Red Sox last year, and a big cut and a miss. CJ threw 19 pitches in the first inning. He's been much more efficient this go round. And that is strike three. Jared Saltalamacchia down on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox. Here come the Rangers in the bottom of the second. isn't just for March. Opening week continues when the Rangers host the Mariners. That's Monday through Wednesday, and you can pay the day. Get upper level tickets for only $4 on April the 4th. That's Monday. $5 on the 5th. $6 on the 6th. It's all at TexasRangers.com/madness. Pay the day and watch your Rangers. There's Michael Young to lead off the bottom of the second inning. He's got good numbers against Lester. 9 for 23. He's faced him more than anybody else in the Rangers lineup. That equates to a .391 average. Quickly, Lester's behind 2-0. That one's in there for a strike, and Nelly Cruz waits on deck, the 5th and 6th batters for the Rangers, and I don't think you could go wrong putting these two men in either order, could you, Tom? I mean, there was some debate about who should be 5th and who should be 6th.
I don't think it really matters. You've got good hitters throughout the lineup. Everybody's going to get their opportunity to drive in runs. And I think having Michael batting 5th gives Michael a chance to knock in more runs than he normally would at the top of the lineup. And he hit 20 home runs last year. Napoli's a 23, 24 home run potential guy, depending on how many at-bats he gets, batting 7th. There's a lot of good spots in the lineup.
Shot to third. Euclid makes the play this time, and there's one away. And that'll bring up Nelly Cruz.
We also got a lot of guys in the lineup who would be successful batting almost anywhere in the lineup. Kinsler is certainly one. He ends up as the leadoff hitter because of all the qualities that he has as a leadoff hitter, but he could easily hit in the middle of the lineup and drive in runs. That's what he did last year. There's a cutter from Lester. Gets it in on the fists. I've seen Lester at games sometimes in Boston. I think the radar gun vary from time to time, city to city, but we've seen games in Boston where Lester stays right around 95 or 96 miles an hour. So far, that's not what you're seeing as far as velocity goes, but both Lester and CJ are two pitchers, two lefties that don't rely solely on velocity. They both know how to pitch, and they've got a good assortment of pitches. The thing for a right-hand hitter that makes a good lefty so tough is when they can throw a sinker going away from him on the outside corner, and then a cutter that comes into him on the inside part of the plate. Make it very tough.
No one's in on the hands, and Nelly fouls it back.
Lester last year led the league in strikeouts per 9 innings, almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. Gives you the kind of idea what kind of stuff he has.
Owens low and inside for a ball. He threw 13 pitches in that first inning.
Yeah, he had 9 before he had anybody out. And then he got the big play was the pitch he made to Josh to get the double play with a man on. That was one that really cut down his pitch count in the first inning.
And Nelly gets a charge into this one. It is deep to left field. Going back and can't make the play. It's a home run over the head of Carl Crawford. The Rangers have tied the score on Nelly's first of the year.
Now, I don't think Nelly got all that ball. In fact, I know he didn't. It just barely got over the wall. You hoped it was going to get out. Then Crawford got to the wall and looked up like he thought he had a chance to catch it. It was coming straight down. He probably did. If it didn't go 1 foot farther, it just barely cleared the left field wall. It's a pretty good pitch. It's a cutter in that's not a strike. And I think it jammed Nelly a little bit, but he's so strong, he still hit it far enough to get it out of the ballpark.
Ian's home run went 376. I'm predicting 355. No, 360. So it was about 6 feet over the wall. 360 feet officially for Nelly's home run.
Yeah, if you look at the difference in the ballparks between our ballpark and Fenway, that ball's obviously a home run over the Green Monster. The ball that Ian hit probably wouldn't have been a home run. It would have smashed off the top of the Green Monster and bounced back for probably a double.
Yeah, Nelly hit that ball very high. Got up in the jet stream a little bit. This one sliced foul by Napoli.
Yeah, a little more velocity on that fastball. 94 from Lester. Pretty big honor for a Red Sox pitcher to get the opening day nod. Lester's 27 years old, 3 full years in the big leagues, on a staff that has Lackey and Beckett, Daisuke Matsuzaka.
This one's chopped in front of the mound. Lester off the mound to try and make the play, and he can't. Mike Napoli's safe at first base. He decides to stay there.
Yeah,
Did that hit him?
Yeah, it hit him, but they're going to call him out because he was inside the baseline. That's a tough call for an umpire, but he had a perfect view of it. The pitcher threw the ball, hit the runner. They're going to call Napoli out because he was on the infield side of the foul line, which interfered, in the umpire's mind anyway, with the thrown ball.
Ron Washington out to argue the case, but
Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire, is one of the veteran umpires in the league. He's got a great view of this. You can see where Napoli is on the inside of that line, and the throw hit him. The hard part is if you run on the outside of that line and run straight, you'll miss the bag because the bag is on the inside of the line. Technically, he ran in a straight line to the base and still got called for the interference. It's very tough for a base runner.
So Napoli is out. And it'll bring up Yorvit Torrealba. Tim McClellan did have a perfect view of it and made the call.
You could see him looking at the play. He put his hands over his head at first, looked a little longer, and then made the call. So it wasn't a quick judgment call. He looked, he thought, he made the call. By our replay, it looked like he made the right call, which you would expect from a veteran umpire.
Kind of a classic case of adding insult to injury, though, isn't it? Napoli has to take a ball off the shoulder, and then the insult of, yeah, by the way, you're out. Inside from Lester. The appeal, no, he did not swing. Second opening day start for Yorvit Torrealba. Last time he did was in 08 with Colorado. And he chops this one toward Youkilis. He makes the play. And the side is retired, but once again the Rangers get a run on a home run. This one from Nelly Cruz. We are all tied at 2 after 2. second inning, and C.J. Wilson had a 13-pitch top of the second inning, and this is what it looked like in rapid form. A weak grounder back to the pitcher from Big Poppy, and then up came Mike Cameron, and he goes down on strikes, a check swing, and then a truculent swing from Jared Saltalamacchia, and the side is retired. Our Geico quote of the day from Ron Washington: I don't think there is a man on earth who works harder than CJ. He's going to make sure he doesn't let down himself or his teammates. And that is high praise from Ron Washington, who watches his guys very closely. And I don't think Ron's trying to be, hyperbole or exaggeration when he says a man on earth that works harder than CJ. He believes it.
I think he does. There's also not a man alive who ever used the word truculent before.
How about that, huh?
Wow.
I'm going to try to trot out some new words.
It's a big one right there.
Broadcast. Truculent's just ferocious.
It's a real big word.
It's a ferocious swing. I got one of those word calendars on my desk.
Really?
And I thought, why don't I bring some of this to the loyal Rangers viewers?
Why not?
Let's trot out some new words. Besides, I think the bosses will start getting on me if I use the same words to describe the swing and a miss every time. So we'll mix truculent in there occasionally.
Well, that's to our viewers with the high IQs. We have a varied audience, just like you have a broadcaster who's probably not a high IQ guy. So you have to have a little bit of something for everybody.
And we do, including a leaping stab by Napoli there, and C.J. Wilson to make the cover. We've got a scoring clarification actually on the play from Mike Napoli. It's scored as a 1-3. We were trying to figure out during the break how you score that when Napoli got hit, and the original thought was that it's a 3 unassisted or a 3U. If you're scoring along at home, 1-3 is the official scoring on the play where Mike Napoli was called out because the ball hit him.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, because if he didn't get hit, it would have been 1-3.
Now it's the top of the order against C.J. Wilson. Ellsbury reached on the error in the first inning. Rode home on the double by Kevin Youkilis. C.J. gets him with a strike there to make it 1-1.
Nice pitch right there for a good hard sinker. Four-seam fastball down and in. Ellsbury swung right over it. A lot of good pitches to the last 3 hitters in the last inning. Ortiz, Cameron, Saltalamacchia, Scudero, 4 straight. Nothing close to a hard hit ball.
One's fouled back. Talked to CJ at the welcome home luncheon yesterday just about the excitement of pitching and starting his first opening day, and he said, yeah, I can't wait. I'll be out in the bullpen and there'll be a flyover and then angels will start singing. And he was remarking about all the different things that go with opening day. I didn't see any angels today, as this one's driven into right field. Ellsbury with a solid single that's going to the wall, make it a double as he rounds first and heads towards second. And it's a 1-out double by Ellsbury.
We're talking about CJ and how tough he is on left-hand hitters. Left-hand hitters hit 144 against him last year. Ellsbury's had a couple of good swings against him. He had the fly ball that Bourbon and Cruz mishandled. Bourbon ran into Nelly while he was waiting to catch it, that he had a good swing at. That's a pretty good swing at a ball down and away, lined past Nelly for a double in right field. Ellsbury can make a huge difference on this team. Go back 2 years, he stole 70 bases, hit over 300 for the Red Sox, playing every day. Last year, he only had 78 at bats, fractured ribs, kept him on the DL almost all season long.
This one is grounded in the hole past Elvis. Ellsbury stops at third base, and it's probably a good thing. Pedroia is on at first. And that'll bring up Carl Crawford. Yeah, you see some of what the Red Sox were missing in those first two hitters, Ellsbury and Pedroia. Two guys who just seem to get it done.
Red Sox have a lot of left-hand hitters in their lineup. J.D. Drew is normally a regular. He's sitting out today. But Ellsbury, Crawford, Gonzalez, Ortiz, four of their key guys are left-handed hitters. Two strikeouts that CJ has are both the right-hand hitters, Cameron and Saltalamacchia. Good curveball right there. That's the one he was trying to throw to Ellsbury that Ellsbury fouled off before he hit the double. The one he threw was a strike down and away. That was a little bit out of the strike zone, and maybe the same pitch to Ellsbury would have got him to swing and miss at it too.
And so CJ's ahead 0-2. Crawford's batted against CJ 13 times in his career, and he's hitting a .165 against him. So this is a favorable matchup for the left-hander Wilson. And he got him swinging. Down goes Crawford. And there are two away.
That's going after a strikeout when you need a strikeout. Probably not going to get Crawford to hit into a double play the way he can run. And CJ made some great pitches to him. He got him to chase two curveballs down and away. That one might have been a slider, but two breaking balls down and away, slightly out of the strike zone. And he missed both of them. And with a man on third base and less than 2 outs, you get a big out. Same thing he did with Crawford last time with Ellsbury at third base. Unfortunately, Youkilis got the base hit last time. Now with 2 outs, CJ trying to get Youkilis with a man in scoring position.
Kevin had the double last time up into right field. Scored a run. Youkilis is good on opening day. He's starting in his 6th straight opener, and his average is 400 on opening day. High and away from CJ. Pedroia's at first base. It's Jacoby Ellsbury at third, and the Red Sox are threatening. CJ trying to quiet the threat. And that one's just a little high. So it's 3-0 to the cleanup man, Kevin Youkilis. There's a strike called. Take was on all the way.
Just in case he was swinging, CJ wasn't going to give him a fastball to hit. He looked like he threw him a changeup. Threw it for a strike. For Youkilis, doesn't make much sense to swing at that pitch. 3-0.
And he walked him.
I think CJ was pitching very carefully right there to Youkilis. And one of the problems with the Red Sox lineup is you can pitch carefully to any of them, but there's always someone good coming up next. In this case, it's Adrian Gonzalez.
Adrian, who led the league, the National League last year with runners in scoring position. He was 407 a year ago. And when the Rangers take on the Mariners this Monday, all fans in attendance will receive replica American League Championship rings. Get your tickets today for the first All Fans Monday at TexasRangers.com or 972 Rangers. Those rings will be officially distributed to the players tomorrow. As we mentioned, the first was given to the Vandergrift family yesterday at the Welcome Home Luncheon. And as a surprise, the mayor of Arlington, Dr. Robert Cluck, got one. And he was truly moved. He had no idea he was getting a championship ring. This one is slapped foul into the seats. I'm not going to lie to you. The great Dr. Cluck and I have the same size fingers, so I tried the ring on. Man, it's nice.
Those are nice.
All kinds of diamonds, the face, and heavy and thick and just beautiful. Wonderful ring. We'll talk lots more about it tomorrow and how the Rangers arrived at the design. Another pitch inside.
You're talking about Gonzalez hitting .407 with men in scoring position last year. He knocked in 101 runs. You can imagine how many runs he would have knocked in if he was playing on a different team in a different ballpark. San Diego was not a huge offensive ball club and a tough park to hit in. But you put him in the middle of the Yankee lineup, the Red Sox lineup, and let him hit .407 with men in scoring position, he might knock in 150 runs.
It's ahead of CJ here. 2-1. Rangers fans remember Adrian in his very early days as a pro with the Rangers organization. And that one's inside for a ball. It's 3-1.
The other thing that you can say about Gonzalez is he doesn't swing at bad pitches. Last year he walked 93 times. The year before that he walked 119 times. So he's an average hitter. He's not a huge on base percentage guy because he walks. Doesn't strike out much. Hits the ball to all fields. Pretty much exactly what you want from a great hitter. And he is a great hitter.
And there's a strike. Runs the count full. It's 3-2. And the crowd is sensing the drama here. In a 2-2 ball game on opening day, they are on their feet at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And it's lined right back up the middle. Good piece of hitting by Gonzalez. One run is home. Here comes the second. Sliding in safely at third base is Youkilis. And it's 4-2 Red Sox.
It's just hard to pitch through the Red Sox lineup. No matter how many good pitches you make, they've got great hitters. And Youkilis is an excellent hitter. CJ pitched around him. And then up comes Gonzalez. You throw him a cutter that's probably not a strike, and he lines it into center field. Yeah, that's just some great hitting. The pitch before it was a good sinker, and he doesn't even flinch at the hard breaking ball away like that. Gets the good part of the bat on it, lines it into center field. That's just a beautiful job of hitting by a guy who can really hit.
Big Papi skies one foul and out of play. He's officially 1 of 11 against C.J. Wilson lifetime, including that last time up when he grounded weakly right back to the mound. Seventh straight opening day start for Big Papi. He takes a strike.
That's the pitch that Adrian Gonzalez lined into center field for a base hit. Normal left-hand hitter would not do that. That's the exact same pitch, same spot that Gonzalez lined into center field for a 2-run hit that Ortiz couldn't believe was a strike and really had no chance to hit. And he's a good hitter too.
Runner goes, and no throw, as that one's outside.
Quick second inning, but the third inning has CJ's pitch count up a little bit. This will be a 62nd pitch. That's the other thing. It's tough not to have a high pitch count because you have to pitch carefully to all these hitters.
And that one's outside. A little bit low to run the count full. Poppy hits this one on the ground towards second. On the outfield grass is Ian. He makes the play. And the side is retired, but the Red Sox get 2 more. And now lead your Texas Rangers by 2 as we head to the bottom of the third. Brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T. Welcome back to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, as you know, Ian Kinsler, no stranger to the leadoff position. He batted leadoff in 2008 and 2009, took a break from it last year, and says his mindset really hasn't changed.
Hopefully it's a little flashbacks to the playoffs, get a little energy going in there, some loud noises, and have some fun out there.
And he has hit safely in all 4 of his opening day starts. This will make it now 5 with that home run there in the first inning on the second pitch of the game, guys.
Emily, thank you very much. Ian is the on-deck hitter as Julio Bourbon is in there, and Ian's right. There have been some really loud noises from the crowd already, and some really loud noises off the bats of some of the Rangers. Really nice crowd here. And they showed up early. Josh Hamilton was talking when we checked with Emily earlier about how he didn't feel butterflies until he was driving to the park. And one of the things he commented on was, as early as we all arrived, 10 o'clock in the morning, there were tons of tailgaters out there just enjoying the day and getting ready for baseball.
Yeah, I don't think you normally see that at the ballpark. I think it probably started a little bit in postseason play and carried over to opening day. But on a day where there's going to be a lot of traffic as you approach game time, what a great idea. Come out early, have a little brunch out there in the parking lot before you go into the ballpark.
I'm a huge fan of the tailgate, and as we drive by, the smells are just awesome. I don't know what they're cooking on those grills. I don't think I could cook as well as these people seem to on a grill in a parking lot.
It's got to be something like sausage that smells that good. Good spot to take right there. Leading off an inning, down by a couple of runs, 3-1 pitch. Make him throw you a couple strikes.
This one is chopped right back to Lester. Underhanded. And Julio is out. And it will bring up Ian Kinsler. Second pitch of the season was a home run into the seats in left field. And Ian Kinsler is out of the gates as well as you can be. He was hot during spring training as well. Finished the thing tied for the American League lead with 5 home runs in the spring, although most of those came early in the Cactus League campaign. Strike. Last time the Red Sox had a left-handed pitcher start and win on opening day was way back in 1970 when Gary Peters beat the New York Yankees 4-3. John Lester trying to become the next to do that. Rangers and Ian with other ideas as this one's grounded to shortstop. Scudero makes the play. And there are 2 away.
We're talking about the Red Sox rotation. The young guys really have become the 2 aces of the staff, Lester and Clay Buchholz. Lester went 19-9 last year. Buchholz went 17-7. Josh Beckett, John Lackey, 2 veterans of the staff, have been aces of staffs before, but didn't have the kind of years last year, anywhere near the years that Lester and Buchholz had for the Red Sox. So 2 homegrown young Red Sox pitchers have really stepped up, become terrific pitchers.
Elvis is pretty good in his career against Lester. He hits .333 against him and showed bunt on the first pitch. That one's inside. Rangers led all of Major League Baseball with infield hits last year, 182 of them. The 1-1 is inside. Washington talked today about the spring numbers. As Elvis chops that one to short. Scudero makes the play. And we'll talk about the spring numbers later. 1, 2, 3, go the Rangers. It's 4-2 Red Sox after 3. Rangers, the top of the 4th inning, and we show you a little bit of the action so far. This was a misplay out there in right center field. It was Nelly's ball, and then Kevin Youkilis drove home the run. Ian Kinsler cut the 2-1 lead in half on the second pitch of the game to him, and then Adrian Gonzalez with a 2-out seeing eye single right back up the middle that brought 2 home. And it's now 4-2 in favor of the Red Sox as Mike Cameron comes in. And this one's grounded towards Ian. Off the outfield grass, he makes the play to Napoli. And that's a quick 1 out for C.J. Wilson.
Better hurry up and get Charlie Huff in here to talk to us, or this inning's going to be over.
One of the guys that threw out the ceremonial first pitch was Charlie Huff. He's getting a microphone on him even as we speak. The great Charlie Huff, Texas Rangers Hall of Famer, and a guy who's helping us celebrate 40 years of Texas Rangers baseball. Now joins us, Charlie. Was that a knuckleball you threw?
Yeah, it was a little slower than it used to be. I'm just glad nobody hit it.
You threw yours to Hamilton?
No. I was aiming at him, but I threw it to Derek. Tom will tell you I walked a couple guys. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I know that the catcher had a hard time catching your ball from time to time. But what's it feel like to come down there, to come back to the ballpark to throw out the first pitch with a big crowd like that?
You know, it's a thrill. Opening day anywhere is a thrill. And to come back here now and see this life to this stadium. First time I saw it was last year. With your Hall of Fame day, I saw this crowd starting to wake up, and now to see it, it's electric. It's kind of like East Coast baseball right now.
Did you make it back to any of the playoff games, Charlie?
No.
Didn't?
No. It's much better to watch them on TV.
Yeah, this is about what it was like for the playoffs.
Sure.
And it was great. And you're right. It's a different vibe in this place.
Yes.
Certainly than what you experienced in all your opening days in the 80s.
We always had good fans. And we always did well opening days and stuff, but we never had this kind of life to it.
Right.
Because we didn't have these kind of expectations.
Exactly. Now, bring us up to date on what you're doing now. Are you still coaching?
Yeah, I work for the Dodgers. I'm going to do a little roving this year. I'm not going to do the team all year, so I'll probably make 4 or 5 trips during the season.
Julio Bourbon makes the play there. Saltalamacchia out, and you see the Hall of Fame career of Charlie Huff, who was a stalwart in the 80s, especially in early 90s for the Rangers. 7 consecutive 14-win seasons, and really the leader of that staff. And as you got a little older, you were the leader of everybody down there, weren't you? You were kind of the dad around.
Yeah, we had that other guy came in. What's his name?
Ryan.
Oh yeah, that Ryan guy. Yeah. That was a thrill to get to play a couple of years with Nolan. And to see what he's done here now, it's terrific.
Does it surprise you at all what he's done as a businessman relative to how you knew him as a baseball guy?
No.
Yeah.
No, because he was one of the first that I knew businessmen that played baseball. And he was 100% businessman and 100% baseball player. And he kept them separate, but you knew it was together in there. And he's got a great baseball mind.
And by that, you mean businesses outside of baseball, or you mean a business-like approach to baseball?
Both.
Or maybe you mean both. Yeah.
Both. I saw both of it from him, and he was, one of the best teammates you could ever have.
He was obviously somewhat legendary already when he got here, wasn't he?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you start pitching in your 40s, you're supposed to have lost a little bit, and I don't know, what he pitched 7 or 8 no-hitters while he was here?
Yeah.
We thought that was going to be it. Pitched till he was 45.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look back at the great career of Charlie Huff. A quick inning, and we didn't get to chat with him nearly as long as we would have liked, but it's 4-2 Red Sox over the Rangers. At 4-2. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth inning, and we decided to keep Charlie Huff around. You just can't let a guy with the wit and wisdom of Charlie Huff go after a half inning that went by so quickly. Although Josh swings at the first pitch, pops it up into shallow left field, and the play is made out there by Carl Crawford. And it looks like we may have the start anyway to another quick inning. But Charlie's with us, and so LA's home. You work for the Dodgers organization. You live in the LA area too? Yeah. Yeah, so Charlie Huff with a great career for the Texas Rangers. As we mentioned last half inning, he overlapped with the great Nolan Ryan. It was one of the highlights of my early career here, with a chance to cover the two of you at the same time. You were quite opposite sort of in your approach to, at least maybe not the game, but your approach to pitching at that point in your career.
You know, a lot of people think I wanted to throw like that. I didn't want to throw like that. That was all I had.
And you made it work for a long time.
That I did. If I did anything good, it was I played a long time, worked hard at it. Wasn't all that spectacular, but I loved being out there. Like I said, there's no better place to be than out there on that mound. And
you really became a fan favorite here in Texas. Was it a reciprocal arrangement? You liked Texas as much as Texas liked you?
Oh, for sure. I could never understand why players didn't want to come here. It was such a great place to play with all the things around here. It was terrific.
Beltre lines it into left.
Charlie, did you have a chance to talk to Eddie Robinson at all? Of course, Eddie was the guy that brought you here, right?
Brought me here, bought my contract for, I guess it was $20,000 from the Dodgers, and I guess it worked for both of us.
Worked very good for Eddie, I know that.
Look at that knuckleball just floating up there.
That's a great view of a knuckleball.
Got a pretty good one sitting out in that Red Sox bullpen today too.
Yeah.
Did you ever work? Did you ever work with Wakefield?
Oh sure. Yeah. 92.
Are there any knuckleball pitchers in the last, say, 15 years? There haven't been a lot of them, but the ones that were there, did you pretty much talk and work with all of them?
I've been around just about everyone I've seen now. Done some time with them, starting with Wakefield, and you either end up with the best with Phil Necro. And now Timmy, but there aren't many guys that can teach it.
Well, you recently, though, taught it to R.A. Dickey, right?
R.A. Dickey,
R.A.'s doing well with it.
When he was a Ranger.
I thought that's right.
When he was a Ranger, I met him at Anaheim Stadium, and then he came out a few times during the winter, and it's taken a few years, but he's got it now. He's a heck of a pitcher.
Have you ever had young kids, like high school kids, come to you and say, I want you to teach me how to throw
every spring training, somebody calls and is trying to get some lessons for something. Generally, I kind of pass on it unless they're a pro.
Right.
And then I'll work with some guys, and you kind of hope the best happens.
Sure.
Michael Young hits it sky high. This one's in shallow right field. Back to play it is Pedroia, and then oncoming in is Mike Cameron, who calls Pedroia off and makes the play. As we continue to talk to Charlie Huff, and is this your first ceremonial first pitch, or have you done it before?
No. I'll tell you a quick story. Hope it works again. I've thrown out the first pitch for the Florida Marlins twice.
Okay.
97 and 03. And both years they were the world champions.
No kidding.
Wow. So we'll see if I've lost it here.
I don't even know if we need to play these 162 games.
Phone it in.
Yeah. Charlie Huff threw out the first pitch.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they came close in between.
Yeah, no, there was nothing. It was a shock both times.
Did they call you back with the express purpose of winning another World Series?
I have to, it was like the 5th year anniversary and the 10th year.
Gotcha.
And both times, they wanted, because I threw the first pitch for them opening day, and I'm a local guy from Miami, and they asked me to do it. And I did the same thing last year or year before when they started to dig for the new stadium that's going to be at the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Benito Santiago and I did that. It's a lot of fun.
Wow.
You need to start charging more for that ceremonial first pitch.
We'll see how this
good point. Yeah.
I'll give Nolan a call if this goes good.
Nelly Cruz, the batter now. Had that home run in the second inning that tied it at 2. And it's time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, and we'll show you what Nelly did last time up. It wasn't quite as hard as Nelly often hits it, but it was cold, and it was just hard enough as the Rangers tied the thing at 2 runs apiece. 2 solo shots on the day that have accounted for the scoring for your Texas Rangers.
I don't think when you throw a cutter that far inside, you expect to give up a home run.
Now Nelly's ahead of Lester 3-1. Runner on first base is Adrian Beltre. And our guest in the booth is Charlie Huff. Rangers are celebrating 40 years of baseball today. It's the 40th opening day. And the 3-1 is sliced into right field. Nelly is on. Adrian stops at second. And it brings up Mike Napoli.
Charlie, how about differences in the game now than when you played? Is it pretty much the same game, or do you see some differences?
I think if there's a difference, I think it's management. We handle the pitchers differently, and obviously the players are in better condition overall.
Yeah.
I think they're a lot stronger. But the game itself, a good pitch is still a good pitch,
yep.
and a good-looking hitter can still hit. But, you know, I like the game today. I think it's better than ever.
It is interesting that more guys haven't been interested in trying the knuckleball. I remember seeing, you know, Magic Johnson say years ago, why don't more guys who are tall try the sky hook? You know, it worked so well. This is something that, if done right, can work very well. You prove that.
It's tough to get a chance. You ran a ball club. There are only so many innings a year in the minor leagues. And generally, you're not going to give those innings to a guy with probably a bad arm. So he's not going to get the innings. You don't get much chance. Right now, they've got some independent leagues where guys will get a chance to try it. But no way you're going to sign, you know, a guy for $1 million, and you're not going to give up his innings to let somebody with a bad arm.
Good point.
So right away, you got no chance.
It's probably safe to say that most guys who have become successful knuckleball pitchers only did it because they weren't having success the other way.
Exactly. Wakefield was a first baseman. They were going to let him go. Couldn't hit. And, you know, you get to a certain level, AA, AAA, and everybody can hit, and all of a sudden you can't. And he'd play around with a knuckleball, and they'd give me a call and say, okay, well, he's good. He can throw it. And next year he's in the big leagues. So.
Who's the best position player you ever saw throw knuckleball? Because they all try it.
God. Wade Boggs, I think.
Did he?
I remember watching Wade Boggs, and I never played catch with him. But every time he used to take infield, he'd get on the mound and throw some knuckleballs. It was outstanding. And I've seen him pitch on TV in the big leagues. He got in a couple of games mopping up and stuff.
Yeah.
A little dangerous to do that with a hitter like Boggs.
Yeah, we tried that one day with Jose Canseco. Didn't go too well.
Don't mention that.
I wish he was throwing a knuckleball.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous out there. I mean, I hate it in the minor leagues where we got to put somebody in, put a player in a blowout game. Yeah, because they're going to get hit with a line drive for sure.
Mike Napoli turns on this one. It is gone. A home run for Mike Napoli just inside the foul pole. A 3-run shot, and the Rangers take the lead.
Well, the Red Sox have had some long innings to get their 4 runs. And every time they've taken a 2-run lead, the Rangers have struck back with a long ball. And what a nice job by Napoli. Behind in the count, waited on that off-speed breaking ball, and just hooked it inside the foul pole. Not a terrible pitch, kind of down and in. Not quite a strike. Just a beautiful job of hitting on a ball that just barely stayed fair.
And the Rangers lead it 5-4. And here comes your Torrealba.
Lester started 7 games against the Rangers before this one, and he'd never given up more than 3 earned runs in any one of those games. The Rangers have him for 5 now in 4 innings.
Chopped right in front of the plate. And the play is made there by Salty, and the side is retired, but not until they get 3. Charlie Huff, great job. Now that's more like it.
Better.
That's why we kept you for the next half.
That's what it sounded like when I pitched.
It's 5-4 Rangers. Thank you, Charlie Huff. To you by AT&T, who is the only player in Rangers history with a walk-off home run on opening day. We will answer the AT&T trivia question in another half inning. Think about that one as we welcome another guest to the booth, another guy who helped celebrate 40 years of history of baseball here in Arlington. We've got Jeff Burrows with us now, and you also got to throw out a ceremonial first pitch.
Well, yes, I did. It wasn't a real thing of beauty. The ball barely got up here, but it was certainly quite an experience to be. I've never thrown out a first pitch before. It was really quite an experience to be here.
Were you just throwing a knuckleball in deference to Charlie next to you there? Maybe?
Well, yeah, I didn't want to show him up.
Yeah,
but this could be the first time in Charlie's life that he actually threw the ball harder than I did.
Here's the look back at Jeff's pitch out there. Let's take a look.
What people may not know, though, Jeff, is you're kind of working with a bad rotator cuff, right?
Yeah, I got a bad rotator cuff. I never had a sore arm my entire career until I started throwing, coaching Little League for 10 years and throwing batting practice every single day. So, yeah, it just finally gave out.
Now, you haven't been back to Arlington a lot since your playing days. There have to be some places where you're wondering where they are now, right?
When I got in the car, Mr. Mackel picked me up from the airport and drove me to the hotel, and I had no idea where I was. I kept looking for Collins Boulevard because that basically was, our center of Arlington was Collins Boulevard, and everything kind of was pieced off that. And this time around, I had no idea where I was.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. What'd you think of that big stadium over next to this one?
Well, I've never had a chance to be in there, but it's like a monolith over there. This is the sports capital of the United States right now. It looks like to me.
Yeah, this one's prettier. Rangers ballpark in Arlington, full of excited fans today, as the Rangers have a 5-4 lead on opening day. C.J. Wilson against Dustin Pedroia, with Jacoby Ellsbury on first base.
Jeff, one of the things, you probably haven't seen our ballpark very much, but one of the things you'll probably be sad to know is on most days, if you get a ball up in the air to right center field, it just is out of here automatically. That's a little bit different than our ballpark.
Well, yeah, in fact, it almost brings tears to my eyes having you tell me that. Because, the old ballpark, the Rector said we first started playing in there, it was, that wind was blowing in 30 knots every day, and right center was, basically an impossibility to hit the ball out of.
Well, in the year where you won the MVP, I remember a game, and I'm sure you do too. It was against the Orioles. Jim Palmer was pitching, and you had two balls high to right center field, would have gone about 420 feet, both of them, and neither one of them got to the warning track. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I try and blank most of it out, but there are some. I remember Palmer actually during that moment you're talking about after the second one I hit. And I rounded first base and did my usual kick the helmet and throw the dirt around a little bit. And he just looked at me and he just started laughing. So at least he appreciated it.
Yeah, he knew they were both home runs.
Jeff Burroughs was the first power hitter in Rangers history, certainly. And actually, you started with the club. You were one of the guys that came from Washington like Tom, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I was a first-round draft pick in '69 and came here, with the club.
You see some of the...
Louis Tiant.
Tiant, did he? Probably caught it.
No, I think that was a home run.
Okay.
I'm sure it was. I mean, we'll say that now.
We wouldn't show a pop-up to the outfield,
or a strikeout or something like that.
No, we wouldn't do that.
There's a lot of those, too.
Well, it's great to have Jeff Burroughs here. What do you think about what you see at this place and the vibe and the enthusiasm and electricity in Rangers ballpark?
Well, I was asked that question earlier, and I think it's so very true. I mean, the energy it's so much more elevated today than it was, obviously, when we were back playing, because we didn't know any different. We thought we were at the height of our game, and this was the major leagues. But looking at the ballpark now and all the beautiful ballparks in America, just the energy here in this ballpark is just simply unbelievable.
Runner goes, and this one is lined foul down the third base line.
Now, how closely now do you follow big league baseball, Jeff? I know your son Sean has been a big league ball player.
Yeah, when he was playing in the major leagues, we got that MLB, and we're watching every game. You're able to watch any game you want, and I followed it pretty closely. But the last couple of years when he's been injured, I haven't really watched that much baseball, actually. For some reason, I don't know why. I guess that I just brought back bad memories that that my son got hurt and wasn't playing, and I just didn't really pay that much attention to it.
I understand. How's Sean doing now?
Sean's doing real well. He's in the Arizona farm system, and I think he's going to start out at AAA. He's in great shape, got a great attitude, and he's healthy now. So I've really got my fingers crossed.
What was his injury?
You name it. He had both shoulders were bad, and his knee was really bad too. So, but he's back together and better than ever.
Good.
Did you work in baseball at all after playing, Jeff?
Well, no, I didn't. I took some time off to be around my kids and watch them grow up, and I did Little League and soccer and basketball and football and all that. And then after they were gone, I kind of lost a lot of my contacts. I've been trying to get back in baseball now for the last 5 or 6 years, but it's been tough because it's a whole new generation of front office people in there, and they don't really know who you are as much as my group.
What people may not know is if they had a Hall of Fame for Little League coaches, you would probably be in the Hall of Fame because you had 2 teams that Sean played on that actually won the Little League World Series.
Yeah, that's probably the fact of all of baseball that I'm most proud of. We won 2 back-to-back championships in '92 and '93. Never happened before for an American team anyway. And it was just thrilling. I got so excited about what happened. We ended up writing a book about our experiences in those 2 years, and it was just a fabulous run.
What's it like? It's the only youth league event that you see on TV.
Yeah.
What's it like when you're there? Is it as exciting as it looks to watch it on TV?
It's even more exciting, and one reason it makes it really exciting is because your child or the kids you really care about are out there playing. You want them to do good. You don't want them to mess up and start crying on you or whatever. But it was a great experience. I always tell everybody it's the hardest championship to win in all of sports. I mean, Little League starts out with over 7,000 all-star teams around the world.
Wow.
And that last Saturday in August, there's only one left.
Wow.
Big swing and a miss there. Pedroia is down on strikes.
That's not easy to do either. Pedroia takes a huge swing for a little guy, but he doesn't strike out very much. Well, after the leadoff single, took 8 pitches, but CJ finally got him.
I'll bring up Carl Crawford. He struck out last time after a soft liner to Elvis his first time up. Did you play the Japanese winner in each of those World Series that you won with the Little Leaguers?
No, the first year we played the Philippines All-Star team.
Okay.
And the second year, after Little League really cleaned up its act lot on eligibility of teams, we beat the Panamanians, which was a great game. It was decided probably the greatest baseball game I've ever been associated with. We won on a bases loaded, ball off the wall in the bottom of the 6th inning to win the championship.
Wow.
So it was I still get goosebumps even when I talk about it.
I can't even imagine how much fun that must have been.
Yeah, to be able to get all of that out of 12, were they 12-year-old kids?
11 and 12, yeah.
Yeah. To be able to get them to sort of rise to the highest level, it's quite an accomplishment.
Now that's an elite team. How many of those kids on your team went on to play, say, high school and college ball?
Actually, I'd say almost all of them went on to play Pony League as the next step, and then almost all of them went to played in high school. And I think there's a couple that didn't end up playing. And college ball, I think we had 4 or 5 that went to major colleges and got a lot of playing time in. And of course, Sean got drafted. We didn't have. We had one other kid that was drafted. I think Chris Miller was drafted out of a 2-year school.
Did he make it to the bigs?
No, he didn't.
No, never did. Yeah.
No, and our team right before that we also we were the all-star manager and coach for that team. We had Chase Utley was also from Long Beach Little League, but he wasn't. He was too old to play on the World Championship teams.
Ellsbury tried several different times. Finally gets the steal there.
Did you come by yourself, or did Debbie come with you?
No, I came by myself. She's back home teaching Thursday and Friday, just about ready to go around year-round school again. So she'll be getting.
Well, hopefully she's TiVo'd this so she can hear you, see you throughout the first pitch, and if she is, I'll say hi to her.
Okay, and I'll say hi to
Dad.
her also.
Hope you're doing great.
What do you think about a Friday opening day? I think this is pretty cool.
I like this. I remember when we were playing, Tom. I think Cincinnati always started off on Wednesday afternoon. I believe
they were the
was
first
a traditional game. But yeah, I think it's great. It makes for a good weekend. Then I guess you go on the road and some other team opens up only 4 days after you open up.
Peel to third, and Crawford did not go around. So it's a full count.
CJ's got his pitch count right up around 90 pitches, which starting pitchers are probably going to have that same problem against the Red Sox all year long. A lot of good hitters. They don't swing at a lot of bad pitches. They're tough to pitch to.
That one is a strike, and Carl Crawford strikes out for the second straight time. CJ Wilson gets him with an outside pitch.
Worked Crawford over pretty well with men in scoring position all 3 times. Couldn't lay off that tough breaking ball down in a way.
Bring up Kevin Youkilis. Crawford knew it. And here comes Uke. He had the RBI double in the first inning. He drew a walk back in the third. And now he brings that familiar batting stance to the plate in the fifth.
How about your memories playing for Ted Williams? People ask me that all the time. How about, do you have good memories of that, or not so good?
I think I have good memories of Ted. I think the thing I remember most is what a dish rag full of ball players we were. We weren't exactly the 27 Yankees. I mean, it was this was a tough group. This was a tough group of ball players to play for. There was so much drama going on in the Williams years that you could write another book about that.
Ted never could understand it, why he couldn't turn us all into superstars.
No, he couldn't. He
had pretty good success with you, but not so much with the rest of us.
This one's hit deep. Josh Hamilton races back to get it, though, and makes the play. Good play by Josh Hamilton and left to end the inning. Jeff Burrows, we appreciate you very much. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you, Jeff.
Ceremonial first pitch. And we say thank you and so long to Jeff Burrows as you see Ted Williams, Teddy Baseball, former Time to answer that AT&T trivia question. We were wondering who is the only player in Rangers history with a walk-off home run on opening day. It was Richie Zisk back on April the 8th of 1978 against the Yankees, a walk-off against Goose Gossage. I guess that was the first year after you were no longer a Ranger, Tom Grieve.
It was. I left in 1977, and I would love to have watched that game, though. It must have been a great game.
Pretty exciting way to start the season. Fairly exciting way that the Rangers are starting this season as we welcome now Steve Busby into the booth. Buzz, we appreciate you very much.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks, guys. It's a rotating seat in here. I know it's still warm.
Yeah, about to say, yeah.
Pretty tough act to follow, Buzz.
Impossible.
Charlie Huff and Jeff Burrows.
I can't follow. I can't follow Charlie. I never could get Jeff out, so I'm just kind of up the creek.
How did you do against Jeff?
Not real well from time to time. Worst thing I pitched against him when I was in college, and he was warming up for the season in February, and struck him out. Got him on a slider. I could never throw him a slider again.
Really?
Oh, he just tattooed it.
Well, he had a beautiful swing for a right-hand hitter, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lester throws this one and just nicked him on the elbow, it looked like, so he got speed on the bases with nobody out.
He was hit on the 0-2 pitch.
Buzz, how about your observations of two really good left-handed pitchers having a little bit of a struggle today?
Well, you know, it's not. This is kind of a carryover from spring training, I think, Tom and John. I don't, nothing alarms me. It's been erratic for both of them, and I think, a couple starts into the season, you're going to see entirely different outings. But today, you've got to give credit to the offenses. Both these teams are. These are the two best offensive teams in the American League, if not all of baseball, and they're showing you why today.
Ian grounds it to third. Youkilis over to second. That's all they're going to get. Julio is out, but Ian is safe at first base on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, and I guess to CJ's credit, it's a 5-4 game. If Julio doesn't run into Nelly in the first inning, it's probably 5-2, and it looks a little bit better, and probably 15 fewer pitches for CJ as well.
Yeah. That's the only hiccup I've seen CJ have really is in that third inning. He had a couple out and was pitching very tentatively to Youkilis, which is right. I agree with that. But he lost his aggressiveness and fell behind then Gonzalez. And boy, as good a hitter as Adrian Gonzalez is, you need to jump ahead of him. And I think lefty, CJ didn't use that to his advantage quite as well as he will.
John Lester's at 70 pitches with that one there, and that's got some activity working out there in the Red Sox bullpen. Matt Albers is out there throwing. Elvis Andrus now working against Lester with an 0-1 count. Pretty good vibe for opening day, Buzz.
Oh, it's like we never left here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
And it feels the same. It's maybe not quite as raucous, but this is great. I'm glad to see a carryover with the enthusiasm, with the turnout, and with the weather too. That's certainly helped a lot.
Yeah, there was a full count pitch. Did get him again?
I think I hit him in the foot.
Yeah.
Back-to-back hit by pitches. Well, not quite back-to-back. We had the fielder's choice in there. But we got runners at first and second. We had that 2-2 situation on a full count pitch in like the third inning, and the crowd was on their feet.
Yeah.
You just don't see that from crowds here in the past.
Well, it's a nice thing to be able to get used to, and I think the Rangers have earned it, and the fans have earned that kind of enthusiasm by supporting the Rangers. And as muddled as things went, and I know we talked about it, John, you and I last year on a lot of shows, as muddled as things were, the fans never gave up. And the fan base kind of shrunk a little bit, but boy, once things turned in August and September last year and then on through October, these fans only needed one small excuse to get out to the ballpark, and they had it.
And now the excuse is simply opening day, although the Red Sox and opening weekend provide more fodder over the course of the next two games. Kurt Young, the Red Sox new pitching coach, comes out to talk with Lester, even as Kevin Harmon and Ron Washington check on Elvis Andrus. Elvis is okay. He's on first base. Josh Hamilton at the plate. And the Rangers threatening again.
A big part of the game for Lester right here. Middle of the order. Down by a run. Couple of men on.
Yeah, I've got to think if he doesn't get Hamilton, he's gone. He might be gone anyway.
Yeah, the Rangers have caught Lester on a day that's not one of his typical days. Of course, their hitting probably has a lot to do with that. You're talking about a guy that struck out almost 10 batters per 9 innings. He hasn't struck out anybody in this ball game. Hasn't walked anybody, but just hit a couple of guys.
Interestingly, as this one's hit high in the air by Josh Hamilton. Shallow center field. There to make the play is Ellsbury, and the runners have to stay put.
You know, Buzz, you'd probably call that a hanging curveball, but it almost hung too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It stayed up and in almost too much.
I still think Josh would like to have another crack at this one.
Yeah, he had a big swing at it.
Just missed it. Yeah.
Just missed it. I think he's walking back thinking to himself, I just got away with one right there.
Yeah, and I think that didn't go unnoticed in the Red Sox dugout either.
Lester has not been good in the early months of the season. He's got a 3-5 record and a 4.76 ERA in the months of March, which only include one start, and April, where he's had 16 starts, though. So he gets much better as the season goes on. He's a traditionally slow starter, and the Rangers are maybe benefiting from that a bit today. Here's the Rangers' new third sacker, Adrian Beltre. And we show you our Ford leaderboard. Highest average by third baseman. And it was this same Adrian Beltre with this same team, the Boston Red Sox, a year ago. He had a great year and hit .321. And led all Major League third basemen, including Evan Longoria, also of the American League, with that .321. Lester checks Kinsler at second again, to the frustration and impatience of the crowd here. Beltre ripped a solid single last time up and scored a run. He rode home on the Mike Napoli 3-run homer in the bottom of the 4th inning that gave the Rangers this 5-4 lead. A game that will likely and undoubtedly now probably be decided by the bullpen, Buzz, as I guess early season games often are.
Yeah, you're right, John. And and baseball's trending toward that. I mean, you're seeing very few starting pitchers anymore use complete games to their advantage. But I think all the bullpens are pretty well stacked up. You're trying to make the opposition play a 7 or 8 inning game against you.
This one's hit high in the air into right field. Over to make a play on it is Mike Cameron, and that will end the inning. Nothing across for the Rangers, but they still lead at 5-4 as we head to the 6th. Ian Kinsler on the second pitch of the season found the seats and left. And then in the second inning, it was Nelly Cruz's turn. This one got high in the air and got barely out of the ball yard. Didn't even quite reach the seats. And how about the 3-run blast in the fourth by Mike Napoli? Welcome to the Rangers, Mike Napoli, inside the foul pole and gone, and the Rangers have a 5-4 lead. There's Ian out there getting ready to play more second base. Adrian Beltre, or rather Nelly Cruz, out there in right field, and then there's Mike Napoli at first base. C.J. Wilson still on the mound, and he is facing Adrian Gonzalez.
Boy, two good pitches right there. Fastball for a strike, then ran that one in on his fist. Nice sinker. Great movement on that pitch. That looked like a right-handed slider.
95th pitch for CJ. That one's a little inside. Mark Lowe out there warming up in the Rangers bullpen. Mark, one of the last guys to be notified that he did make the 25-man roster. Wave and a miss by Gonzalez, who's 2 for 2. Was it foul tip? 2 for 2. 3 RBI for Gonzalez. And here's CJ with those 96 pitches.
Yeah, if the play's made in the first inning and the game goes the way it went after that, watch out. He only gives up 2 runs. It probably cost him 10 or 15 extra pitches in the first inning, but did a good job of pitching around it anyway. It's not easy to navigate your way through this lineup. Done a pretty good job of it.
Grounded. Beltre.
Here we go.
Makes the play. And there is one away as we go to Jim Knox.
Thank you, John. I got Nancy Wagner here. She is celebrating. This is her 50th season opener. That's right. You look at the Rangers also back with the Senators. Explain this, Nancy.
My husband was working for an accounting firm and went to do the books for the Rangers, or for the Senators, and the general manager asked him to stay on. And then when the Senators moved here, became the Rangers, we moved with them.
There we go. And your husband passed away this past December, and you guys are keeping on the tradition along with your granddaughter, Jennifer. And also, John and Tom, you're going to recognize Sister Frances right here, of course, with the drum. Let's hear it, Sister, all season long. She's been coming to season openers since 1972. Go ahead, hit the drum, Sister. Come on, don't be bashful. They're going to love her all season long right here. Thank you, Sister. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Sister Frances is trying to get Sister Maggie to stand up and help her.
You know, Sister Frances and Sister Maggie are such great fans. They're sitting there listening to the game, so they couldn't hear Noxie. You know, look at, she's got her headphones. How about earbuds? Sister Frances with earbuds. That is awesome.
She likes listening to Eric and doesn't want to be interrupted during the ball game.
Doesn't want to miss anything. And in the great tradition of Zonk, she has the drum here at the game.
I sat next to both sisters in Yankee Stadium way back when the Rangers were in the playoffs, and we were sitting in a group of maybe 150 Ranger fans. Yankee fans were pretty good, but there was a few off-color remarks tossed our way, and they both handled it very well.
Yeah, and you know, they wear their Ranger gear, not anything that would let you know that they are nuns. So yeah, I could see where a Yankee fan might not realize who they were hurling epitaphs toward.
Boy, what a sinker right there. Wow.
Ortiz is down on strikes. C.J. Wilson is rolling along.
Yeah, well, since C.J. gave up the 2-run single to Adrian Gonzalez, he's retired everybody but Ellsbury, who got a base hit in the 5th inning. He's had 3 strikeouts, and he has had some kind of sinker. Boy, the one that he threw to Gonzalez and that one that he just struck out Ortiz with, you can't throw a better sinker than that.
70 strikes and now 36 balls for CJ. He's at 106 on the day.
Well, this has been a good, solid outing for CJ with really good stuff.
Calming himself down now as he starts Cameron out 2-0. Mike struck out the first time up and grounded to Ian Kinsler back in the fourth.
And last year, CJ went 3-0 against the Red Sox, and his ERA was under 1. And very few pitchers have done that to the Red Sox, beat them 3 times in 1 year and pitched that well against them.
Coming into the game, only Dustin Pedroia of the starters for this Red Sox team had a batting average over 200 against CJ.
Well, Wash would love to see him get Cameron right here. He's at somewhere around 108, 110 pitches. And, you know, CJ's a guy you don't worry about. His hamstrings obviously not bothering him. He's in great shape. He's worked hard. So throwing 110 pitches on opening day is not that big a deal, but I don't think he wants to throw much more than that.
Jared Saltalamacchia, the next batter, and yeah, here comes Ron Washington, and you've got Lowe and Arthur Rhodes out in the bullpen. Wash has said he will go with the veterans when he needs to go to the bullpen, so Wash is making the change now. The crowd is standing now to honor C.J. Wilson for a 110-pitch performance, and leaving the game with, or is he leaving the game?
Not yet.
He's trying to talk him out of it.
Not leaving yet.
Not leaving yet.
Now he is.
And now he finally says, let's go with the righty. CJ tried to stay in, but 110, as Tom mentioned, an awful lot of pitches on opening day. There's the ovation for CJ.
Yeah, Justin Verlander threw 118 pitches yesterday. And, you know, if you're a veteran pitcher in your upper 20s, early 30s, in great shape, it's no big deal. Maybe for a younger guy, not in that kind of shape, opening day, that might be too many, but not for a guy like CJ. He can handle that.
We'll talk about the new pitcher. It's Mark Lowe. That's coming up next. Rangers lead at 5-4. Play of the game, and it's C.J. Wilson fielding his position pretty well as he comes off the mound and works quite athletically to get a couple of the guys there. And C.J. Wilson, the author of our Great Hands Play of the Game. It's brought to you by the Grant Brown Hand Center.
And with C.J. on the mound, it's like having another infielder in the game. He's an athlete, fields his position well. Throughout the course of a season, that saves him a lot of runs by being able to do that. Good solid outing. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. So far only 2 earned runs against a really good lineup. A good opening day start for CJ.
And now it's Mark Lowe, veteran who was acquired with Cliff Lee last July 9th. 6th season in the bigs. See the numbers there. Guy who was one of the candidates to be a possible closer if they had decided to move Feliz into the starting rotation.
Came in through a couple of off-speed pitches. Evened the count at 1-1. Salty hasn't seen the heat yet. He's definitely got some. Anywhere from 94 to 97.
Check of first base. Salty, of course, the switch hitter, turns around to hit lefty against Mark Lowe. Inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Salty struck out against CJ in the 2nd inning and was put out in center field by Julio Bourbon in the 4th. This one is chopped foul towards the Rangers dugout, and it's 2-2. C.J. Wilson got the first 2 batters in the inning on a ground out to third and a strikeout. The walk has Mike Cameron on first base, and now Mark Lowe trying to clean it up. The 111th opening day for the Boston Red Sox. Works inside, and the count is full. Red Sox are under 500, 54, 55, and 1 on opening day. Runner goes. Salty chops it foul towards first. The Red Sox nation may think it's a conspiracy against the Red Sox. This is their 3rd straight opener against the defending American League champions. Terry Francona's team played the Yankees last year, played the Rays 2 years ago on opening day, and now play against the defending American League champions, the Texas Rangers. Full count pitch right back toward Lowe. He makes the play, fields his position as CJ did before him, and the side is retired. Nothing across for the Red Sox. The walk is erased, and it's 5-4 Rangers headed to the bottom of the 6th. by Sonic. Today's jackpot worth $100 and dinner for two at the Sonic Drive-In. Today's the Rangers are hitting for Susan Hart from Allen in the Sonic Slam inning. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during the inning, $25 grand for Susan. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. Michael Young will be the first to have a chance to hit a home run in the inning. Rangers have 2 solo shots already and a 3-run blast by Mike Napoli. John Lester still out there. Just threw his 77th pitch. 44 strikes and now 33 balls. As Nelly Cruz waits on deck for the Rangers.
Yeah, we're talking how well CJ competed against a tough lineup. And it's pretty much the same task for John Lester trying to compete against the Ranger lineup. There's no soft spots in this lineup either. And you're talking about one of the top pitchers in the league. And he's given up 3 home runs and 5 runs in this opener. So it hasn't been easy for Lester to navigate through the Ranger lineup either. I don't know how many starts he had last year where he didn't strike a batter out. I guess maybe none.
This one handcuffs Pedroia. Michael Young is out at first on a close play.
But to come into a game and pitch 6 innings and not strike out a batter for a guy who struck out 10 per 9 innings last year, pretty unusual.
Here comes Nelly. He's now got 6 hits in 12 at-bats against John Lester. He's hitting .500 in his career against Lester. Came in hitting 4 of 10, and he's 2 for 2 with a home run and a single.
He had the home run to left. And the cutter inside. He got jammed a little bit, but so strong he was still able to hit it out of the ballpark. Then the base hit to right was just a shot into right field. Went with the pitch and drove it into right field.
And Lester works fairly carefully to him now and gets behind 2-1. That one's inside, and it's 3-1. Nelly likes hitting on opening day. Takes a walk there, and he's 6 for 11 in opening days as we go to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, Mike Napoli's role on this team continues to evolve. It was thought he wouldn't play much first base, but when Tommy Hunter went down and then the club traded Matt Trainer, Ron Washington, who wants to get him in the lineup, has got to play him in the field. That's why he's at first today. He says he's fine going with the flow.
I'll do whatever it takes to help this team win, and if it's catching, is I'll prepare myself for that day, and I'm playing first today, and I'm gonna prepare myself that way.
Obviously, Ron Washington wanted to get him in the lineup because of his track record against lefties. He backed it up with that 3-run bomb in the 4th off of John Lester. John, tag back up to you.
Yeah, Emily, thanks. And his numbers are great against Lester as well. He comes into the game hitting .500 against Lester, and he's basically hitting .500 for the game against him. 1 for 2 with the home run, a 3-run blast. Ball gets away, not too far away from Adrian Gonzalez. Wash talked a little bit about the thinking too when you have Napoli and Torrealba as your only Napoli's your only backup catcher. You basically can't have one of them in as the designated hitter under most circumstances, because if you lose the catcher, you lose the designated hitter position then. But Wash told us that he would do that. It probably won't happen very often.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the end of the world. What happens is if you have to use the DH, then the pitcher has to hit. And so it's probably going to happen later on in the game, and it might result in one at bat. And you still might have a guy on the bench who could pinch hit. So, you know, I think sometimes to get your best lineup that you're comfortable with, Wash will do that. He might not feel totally comfortable doing it, but I think the benefit can outweigh the minor risk involved.
Yeah, he said he would do it, and he would do it, like you said, for matchups, and then he would cross his fingers.
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's
exactly
pretty much all you can do if that's the lineup you decide to go with. I asked him if any of the motivation to do that would be to make sure Michael gets a sufficient number of repetitions at first base, and Wash said that wouldn't necessarily factor into it. He outlined the various ways in which Michael will get his at-bats, though, and his repetitions at really all three of the infield, all four of the infield positions for that matter. Wash says he will not use Elvis Andrus like he did last year. He says, I don't think I need to kill that kid like I did last year. So Michael will get some chances there. Said there could be days when Ian gets a breather and just DHs and Michael plays second. This one is another one lined out there into right field. Napoli with another base hit as he continues his mastery of John Lester.
Yeah, both Napoli and Cruz have hit the same kind of ball into right field, just going the other way and drilling a hard line drive ground ball into right field. A couple of men on, nobody out. Terry Francona's coming out. That's a pretty good pitch right on the outside corner. Nice job of hitting by Napoli. He's had a good day.
And that will be the day for John Lester. Take a look at the line there. 5 1/3. 5 runs on 5 hits. All the runs are earned, and he didn't strike out anybody on the day. We'll talk about the new man and show you the rest of the bottom of the 6th right after this on Fox. The pitches that were thrown by John Lester to 3 hitters. Ian Kinsler, that one went out. Nelly Cruz, that one too went out to left field. And then Mike Napoli hits a low pitch out just inside the foul pole. That was the big blow, a 3-run blast, and the Rangers lead it 5-4. You see Nelly out there now on second base. Napoli's on first base, and the new pitcher is Matt Albers in his first year with the Red Sox.
The Red Sox have pretty much turned their bullpen almost all the way over. Albers is new. Wakefield is in the bullpen and not a starter. Dan Wheeler has been added. Bobby Jenks has been added. Both Jenks and Bard are setup relievers. Both of them certainly capable of closing. Jenks has done it for a long time. Bard probably will become the closer here when Papelbon's not here anymore.
This one's chopped towards second base. Back to short for one, and that's all they get. Jorvik Torrealba is on first base. Nelly's over at third, thanks to the fielder's choice.
John, in spring training, I was saying you can't hit the ball with the bat on your shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the bat off my shoulder. I'm calling it right here.
You're making the call with Julio Bourbon at the plate. Wow.
First one of the year. Into the home run porch.
It's a left-hander against the right-hander Albers.
Try to send some karma down to Julio.
Matt led the Orioles a year ago with a career-high 62 appearances, all of them in relief. And like so many Red Sox, Albers is a Texan, born in Houston. Currently lives down in Sugar Land in the offseason. And he's a little outside to Julio. He's got to give Julio something to hit, or Tom's call is not going to come through.
Hey, he must have heard that I made the call.
No
He's being
kidding.
careful. A lot of movement on those sinkers that Albers is throwing. They're just sinking right out of the strike zone. They're starting out right near the corner, and then the movement's just taking them out of the strike zone.
3-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Looked like it moved a little bit, almost out of the strike zone itself.
Yeah, that type of ball is tough to hit out of the ballpark, too. That hard sinker, 93 miles an hour, tailing away.
And he walked him. So Julio Bourbon is on base. And we got $25,000 up for grabs as the bases are loaded with Rangers. And here comes Ian Kinsler. This is what he did in the first. All right. I never took the bat off my shoulder in spring training.
You never did?
So I'm going to haul off right here.
You kept it on the shoulder. You kept it on your shoulder.
Yeah, I never took it off my shoulder the whole time.
Taking it off right here?
Let's take it off right here.
Okay.
I'm going to make the call, and I'm going to win 25 grand for Miss Hart.
Albers couldn't throw his sinker over the plate, so he started eating off with a slider, which he did throw for a strike.
No strike there. Dennis Reyes is up in the bullpen for the Red Sox now. Dennis Reyes.
They have to think Reyes would come in if Hamilton hits in this inning. It's the only lefty the Red Sox have in the bullpen, but they've got some really good right-handers. Their 7th, 8th, and 9th innings with Jenks, Bard, and Papelbon are pretty well covered.
There's
Perfect
a strike
pitch right
in.
there.
Yeah.
Should be right in the lower corner of the rectangle.
Yeah.
Tough pitch.
It was a little in tight, and we're all even at 2-2. Bases loaded with Rangers here. As we play in the bottom of the 6th inning. Texas leading on opening day 5-4. Ian slices this one foul down the right side. Kinsler with a chance in the Sonic Slam inning to win $25,000 for a loyal Rangers fan and Sonic customer. And to make good on my first call of my career. Take a look at your runners. Nelly, Torrealba, and Bourbon.
Oh, they all thought that was strike three. Every Red Sox started running toward the dugout. Scudero was almost to third base. Pedroia was almost to second base. And
just outside.
Just missed. It missed.
Tim McClellan was one of the few who didn't think it was a strike, and he's the one that mattered. Crowd's on their feet here. The full count pitch. Broken bat. And the play is made. And the side's retired. But no shortage of drama for the Rangers, who load the bases and leave them loaded. We're headed to the 7th inning on opening day. Rangers leading 5-4. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And there is a new pitcher for the Texas Rangers as we welcome you back to opening day at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And tell you about this huge crowd, 50,146 in attendance. It's the 8th largest regular season crowd in the history of the ballpark. It's the 18th largest if you include the playoffs. And it is a good crowd, very in tune to what's happening here, and anxious to see one of the new guys from the offseason, Arthur Rhodes, the veteran lefty in there, Tom.
Yeah, Arthur joined the team this year after 2 really nice seasons in Cincinnati. He joins Darren Oliver as 2 good veteran lefties late in the game coming out of the bullpen. Ron won't have to go to Darren quite as much this year because he's got pretty much the same guy out there in Arthur Rhodes. Arthur had a little bit of tendonitis in his left wrist in spring training. Got a shot for it. Evidently the shot really alleviated the problem, and here he is on opening day with his new ball club.
And he's facing Marco Scudero here, the 9th place hitter in the Red Sox order. Arthur, a native of Waco, Texas. Grew up an Astros fan. Grew up a Nolan Ryan fan, as most Texas kids did in those days. Scudero chops it towards Elvis. On a hop, he plays it to Napoli, who scoops it, and Scudero is down.
And fielders depend on the first baseman over the course of 162 games, and they appreciate it when the first baseman picks one out of the dirt for them. That's why you see Elvis nodding over to Napoli. Thank you very much, Mike.
Mike, who had not played a lot of first base until Kendry Morales got hurt a year ago, and then he played quite a bit of it over there in his absence.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how Mike plays first base for, having been a catcher. He handles himself really well over there. Got good agility, which I guess you'd expect from a catcher. Good hands, which you would expect. They have to block a lot of balls, catch a lot of balls in the dirt. And he makes the throw to second base on a force out really well.
Here's the top of the order, Ellsbury. Lefty working against the left-hander Rhodes. Jacoby has reached all 3 times. An error in the first, a double, and then a single.
Yeah, he's had some good swings in this game against the tough lefty. CJ doesn't give up many hits to left-hand hitters, but Ellsbury had 3 good at-bats against him. Really swung the bat well today.
And he takes a 4-pitch walk from Arthur Rhodes.
Not getting that borderline high pitch, that's for sure.
So it'll bring up Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia, another one of the Red Sox who was hurt much of last year, back in the lineup this year. Burst onto the scene with the Red Sox. Won a Rookie of the Year, and then the next year an MVP. Runner goes. Ball gets away from Torrealba, and Ellsbury's got 138 career steals, his second of the game. It's a wild pitch, actually. Quick word from Jorvik to Arthur Rhodes as 2 of the newest Rangers get to know one another, and Pedroia steps back in. Outside part of the plate for a strike, and we check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, you were talking about that cortisone shot that Arthur Rhodes received in his left wrist. I asked him yesterday when we were up in the clubhouse, hey, are you okay? You going to go tomorrow? And he looked at me almost insulted and said, it's opening day. Of course I'm going to go tomorrow. So this is his 17th time being on the opening day roster, and you could tell there wasn't anything going to keep him from being available today.
Old school guy, Arthur Rhodes. All-star for the first time a year ago. And this one gets away from Torrealba, but Ellsbury goes back to second.
Keep an eye on Ellsbury. A couple years ago, he led baseball with 70 steals.
Fifth all-time on the Red Sox list for steals. With 137 now after having won in the 5th. This one's hit high in the air, headed toward right field. Nelly Cruz has a beat on it and makes the play. Ellsbury stays at second on the pop out by Dustin Pedroia. So there are 2 away for Carl Crawford. This is the sort of personification of what Ron Washington was talking about, going with the veterans, especially on opening day.
Well, I think any manager feels more comfortable with the jitters of opening day going with his veteran players. And let's face it, late in the ball game, that's why you got Arthur Rhodes, to come in and face the best hitters on the other team. Game on the line. He is a veteran guy, and he's done it for a long time. May not throw quite as hard now as he used to, but he still has the savvy and the know-how to get the job done.
Actually is only his 5th opening day appearance, even though he's been on 17 opening day rosters. He's pitched in 4 previous games, all in relief, of course. 1-0 record with a 3.38 ERA on opening day and 1 save. Trying to keep this one a 1-run lead for the Rangers, who lead at 5-4 here in the top of the 7th inning. Checks Ellsbury at second base.
Crawford had his best year last year. Picked a good year to have it, his free agent year. Most home runs and RBIs he's ever had. 19 home runs. He knocked in 90 runs, stole 47 bases, had 13 triples, scored 110 runs.
Follows that one back to the screen. Signed that 7-year, $142 million contract in the offseason.
A lot of people thought he was going to go to the Angels. Kind of glad he went to the Red Sox. Angels did pick up a pretty good outfielder, though. They traded for Vernon Wells. That'll be a big addition to their ball club.
The 0-2 count.
Slider away.
Wave and a miss, and he struck him out swinging. Arthur Rhodes retires the side. The Rangers hang on to this 5-4 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Take one more look. Arthur Rhodes getting it done against Carl Crawford. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit your local Chevy dealer. Rangers with that lead, and Matt Albers still out there on the mound. Elvis Andrews stepping in against him as we start the bottom of the 7th.
You mentioned that Dennis Reyes was warming up. He'll probably, I would think, come in to face Hamilton, next hitter. Definitely, if Elvis gets on base, he will.
Got Dan Wheeler out there warming in the pen now, too. Elvis shows bunt. Takes a ball low. Elvis reached on an error first time up and was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. In between there, he grounded out to his counterpart, Scutaro. Slices this one into the seats down the right side. Josh Hamilton is the on-deck man. There's the reigning American League MVP. This one's chopped over the head of Albers, but there to make the play is Pedroia. Pretty nice play by Pedroia, and Elvis Andrus is out. And here comes Terry Francona. Albers has now faced 3 batters, and that will do it for his afternoon. We will take a break, but talk about the new man when we come back. Texas leading it 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th.
Bart, you guys sang the national anthem. What a great opening day.
Oh man, this is the greatest day of the year for me, is when baseball starts, and to be asked to do the national anthem is pretty stinking awesome. So.
Also, you guys next April 9th at the American Airlines Center. Expect a sellout there.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. We do a $10 ticket at the door, and people camp out for a couple of nights. And last 2 years it's sold out, so hopefully we can do the same again.
There we go. In August they come here and play outside the ballpark. John and Josh Hamilton's favorite band right here, and talks to him just about all the time. He doesn't give him any hitting pointers, though. Nothing, right? Yeah. Good.
Just as long as Josh doesn't give him any singing pointers either, right?
What a great anthem they did, too.
Yeah, they're good.
They're a cappella. They just get out there. There's about 5 or 6 of them, and they really sing it well together. Reyes is the new pitcher against Josh Hamilton, as Tom speculated he would be. Another example of the remaking of that Red Sox bullpen. Reyes with the Cardinals the last couple of years. And he led all Cardinal, or actually was third among the Cardinals relievers with 59 appearances a year ago. And he walks Josh on 4 pitches.
That might be his only 4 pitches, too. Bye-bye.
Here comes Terry Francona.
Don't want to overwork the big guy.
No. Get 4-pitch walk like that, and that may just be it for your afternoon, as Adrian Beltre is coming up next, and Terry Francona is going to the pen again. We're back after this in the bottom of the 7th inning. With 6 hits and an error thus far, and it's opening day for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and free MLB fan guide, compliments of Scott's. As we welcome you back to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, Scott's is used here, and of course the field is looking as spectacular as always for this opening day. Take a look at it. It is just gorgeous. And there's Chuck Morgan. You don't have a $12.5 million new scoreboard without a new nerve control center. And there's Chuck doing what he does, not only announcing here, but he basically runs the whole computer system that runs this ballpark's video and audio control.
And Chuck makes it happen. Says he's got 8 more people working for him this year. He had 8 last year. He's got 16 now in that room.
And as Adrian Beltre steps in, he'll face a new pitcher, and it's Dan Wheeler. Rangers fans remember Wheeler from his days in Tampa Bay. The last 3 or 4 years he's been in Tampa Bay. Was with them when they won the World Series. Might remember him as a Houston Astro as well. For him, playing with the Red Sox is kind of like going home. He's from Rhode Island. Josh Hamilton's the runner at first base, having walked on 4 pitches, and now Wheeler is inside to Adrian, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Wheeler's had a couple of years where he saved 11 in 13 games. The Red Sox have a lot of guys who can close out a game if they need to.
This one's hit high toward right field.
Just missed that one, boy.
Cameron camps under it, and he makes the play, and Josh is headed back to first.
Just got underneath it.
Yeah, that one caught a lot of the play, didn't it? Here comes Michael Young.
The Rangers last year as a team struck out 986 times. That was the 4th lowest in the major leagues. The year before, they were the 4th highest in American League history. They struck out 1,253 times. And what a dramatic improvement, almost 300 decrease of about 25% almost. And they haven't struck out in this game either. Well, they're a team that has really transformed itself from one of the teams that struck out the most to one of the teams that strikes out the least now.
Throughout the spring, they were one of the least struck out teams in the Cactus League and in all of MLB for that matter.
Yeah.
So it's continued this year, even through the first 4 weeks of games, if you will. Thad Bosley, the new hitting coach. Some of the credit for the lack of strikeouts certainly goes to Thad now and to Clint Hurdle before him.
Yep. I think Clint did a great job last year. Thad'll carry on this year.
Michael hits this one in the air towards right field. It's slicing and headed towards the seats and out of play. Michael's got a three-game opening day hitting streak going, so hasn't got one yet in this game. It'd be nice to see Michael continue that streak. Check at first of Hamilton. Michael's 0 for 4 in his career against Wheeler. He puts this one right back up the middle. Diving play by Pedroia over to the shortstop. Scudero covering, and the side is retired. Good defense there by the Red Sox. It's 5-4 at the end of 7. It was the first ever opening day start by C.J. Wilson, who pitched very well in his opening day debut. C.J. allowed just 2 earned runs, 4 overall on 6 hits. He had 2 walks and 6 strikeouts, including the big swing by Pedroia there, one by Carl Crawford there, and then Check out the big cut by Big Papi. CJ is awfully well for himself as he leaves with a lead. 5 2/3.
CJ had good stuff today. You know, you take a couple of plays, the fly ball to lead off the game, that cost 2 runs. And then he made, I thought, a decent pitch to Adrian Gonzalez. He threw a 3-2 cutter, it looked like, maybe 3 or 4 inches outside. A pitch that a lot of left-hand hitters will hit right off the end of the bat, but he's just a great hitter. He extended his arms a little bit and lined that ball into center field for a couple of runs. And those really were the 2 plays that cost the 4 runs. Only 2 of them were earned. And overall, I thought CJ had really good stuff today. He threw some sinkers that looked like right-handed sliders.
Now it's Darren Oliver, beginning his 18th season in Major League Baseball. Starts Kevin Youkilis off with a couple of balls. For Ollie, it's his 8th opening day for the Rangers. 94, 95, 97, 98, 2000, 01, and 10. And now 11. There's a strike. So says Tim McClellan. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Kevin Youkilis. He chops this one towards Elvis on the ground.
Good job by Derek. Fell behind 3-0, came back through a strike, and then jammed a really good hitter who's ahead in the count looking for a fastball. Hit that weak ground ball to shortstop. Nice job by Derek.
And now the lefty will face the left-hand hitting Adrian Gonzalez. 2 for 3 on the day for Gonzalez in his Red Sox debut, and he's got 3 runs batted in. 3 of the 4 Boston Red Sox runs.
Neftali Feliz throwing out in the bullpen, and one thing, you know, we talked about a little bit of this in spring training. You've got a guy that could easily come into this game in the 8th inning if Ron wanted him to, because he's been stretched out as a starting pitcher in spring training. He could throw pretty much as many pitches as you want him to throw today. And that's one of the benefits of the extra work he got in spring training, is he's not just a 1-inning guy today.
There you go.
Is that the antlers?
I think those are antlers on steroids. Maybe he didn't hear about the new rules about those. That is a beautiful look, though.
I think that's his hair. Wow.
Oh. Homemade antlers, if you will. Another one in on the fist. Chopped towards Ian. He makes the play to Napoli.
Another good pitch. Got the fastball in on Adrian Gonzalez. You know, 2 of the top hitters in the American League, and Darren's come right out and gotten the first 2 outs. You really see how what you were talking about, John, Ron Washington wanting to go with his veteran guys here on opening day. He gave the 7th inning to Arthur Rhodes, trying to give the 8th inning to Darren Oliver, and at least Feliz for the 9th inning. Trying to battle through a ball game where they've had a 1-run lead now for the last 3 innings.
Big Papi hitting just 167 against Darren in his career. And that's kind of what Buzz was referring to as well. This is how it works now in Major League Baseball. You've got specialist guys. 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, and then a 9th inning guy.
Again, what a nice thing it is to have 2 guys just like each other.
Yeah.
Out in the bullpen, 2 lefties. A lot of lefties in this lineup. 4 out of the first 6 hitters in the lineup are left-handed hitters.
Big Papi hits this one to center field. Bourbon going back and can't get it. It is in the seats, and we are all tied up. David Ortiz with a solo home run. It's 5-5.
Boy, that ball just jumped out of here. He was just kind of trying to make some contact. Go back through the middle with a fastball and ended up lining it out of the ballpark to left center field. trying to get that pitch a little bit more down and a little bit more away. Just got enough of the plate where he could get the good part of the bat on it.
It'll bring up Mike Cameron. Big Poppy got off to a slow start a year ago, but hit a 406-foot shot in game 1 of this season to tie this thing at 5 runs apiece. Daniel Bard has been working out there in the Red Sox bullpen. Tom mentioned he's likely the heir apparent to Papelbon. Although Bobby Jenks has already been up and working some this game as well. Cameron fouls another one off. The 2-2. Outside for a ball, and the count runs full on Mike Cameron. Red Sox have tied the game with a solo shot from David Ortiz. This one's hit high and not too deep into center field. Julio coming on and makes the play. And the side's retired, but not before they tie it. Ortiz with the solo homer, and it's 5-5 headed to the bottom of the 8th.
On Monday, and now to all top it off, you are the Progressive fan. You get this nice shirt. No, actually, not this shirt, but a bigger shirt in here, along with a hat, the bag, and everything. Congratulations, Karen. How does it feel?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's awesome. It is wonderful.
It's wonderful. There you go. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the game. Hopefully a Ranger comeback win here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Noxie, thank you very much. Congratulations. A birthday, a retirement, and a Progressive fan of the game all in the same week. That's a big week. Nelly Cruz in the air to right. Able to make the play on a windy day is Cameron. There's one out. Daniel Bard is the new pitcher for the Red Sox. Fireman of the Year last year. 73 appearances a year ago, which was 5th in the American League.
He's got a good arm. He throws hard. Upper 90s with his fastball. Throws a slider and a changeup. Pretty much every at bat, you're going to see a 95 to 98 mile an hour fastball.
Now he's facing Mike Napoli, who had the 3-run homer in the 4th and a single in the 6th inning. Bard, another Texan. He's born in Houston. Tabbed as the Red Sox Rookie of the Year was Bard back in '09. You can hear the pop that he generates on the glove. 6'4", 215 pounds. He's sort of prototypical pitcher size now. That one's 98 miles an hour. And he throws easy. I mean, it looks like it's easy for him to throw that hard.
It sure does.
That was a little high, though, and it's 3-1 to Mike Napoli. Mike was hit by a thrown ball when the pitcher John Lester threw a weakly hit ground ball toward first, and it hit Mike in the first inning, or rather in the second inning. Big cut and a miss there. And then in the 4th inning, this is what Mike Napoli did to John Lester. He took him deep, just inside the foul pole, a 3-run shot that gave the Rangers a 5-4 lead. And he draws a walk here.
They throw him a 3-2 slider. Mike laid off it, well out of the strike zone.
So it'll be Yorvi Torrealba coming to bat against Daniel Bard.
I might have favored a fastball in that count right there if I'm throwing 98 miles an hour, but easy to say from up here in the booth.
Strike one to Yorvi. Julio Bourbon on deck. Rangers and Red Sox, two of the best teams in the American League. Red Sox are a prohibitive favorite as far as odds makers are concerned to win the American League. But the Rangers are expected to win the West, so there's two of the best teams, at least preseason, in the American League squaring off on opening day.
Yeah, you have to think the Yankees will still be a factor. Their pitching staff doesn't have quite the same depth that the Red Sox staff has. They still got some winning players on that team. They'll still be some kind of a factor in that. One thing about the East is all the teams are better that are normally near the bottom. The Orioles are better. Toronto's better. The other three teams are pretty good to begin with.
But there's the American League pennant. It was raised today for the first time ever at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And this one is looped out there into right field. Mike Napoli stops at second base, but Yorvi Torrealba, with his first regular season hit as a Ranger, is on at first.
That's turning around some heat. That was a 96 mile an hour fastball that he roped into right field. Nice job right there by Yorvi. David Murphy going to pinch hit for Bourbon in this situation. Tough assignment. Try to stay loose on the bench for 3 hours and then come up and face Daniel Bard throwing 98 miles an hour.
You get the feeling if anybody can do it, David Murphy can. He had a great spring. Bard starts him off with a ball inside. David, of course, started his career in this Red Sox organization. There's C.J. Wilson, today's starting pitcher, the opening day starter, who pitched very well. David has never faced Bard in his career.
Well, there's no way you're going to hit that pitch in that situation. If you're David, you got to be looking for a fastball. And Bard took something off it, threw him a changeup. Even though that changeup's at 87 miles an hour, which is pretty hard, it's still 10 miles an hour less than his fastball. Throw him another one. Bounced it in. Change up. 2-1.
So David's ahead of Bard.
You have to look for a fastball right here. He throws you something else. More power to him.
Brought the heat and just missed. Yep. So it's 3-1.
Yep. You walk Murphy. Ian comes up with a man on third base to go ahead run with 1 out. A little bit outside, close, but not a strike. I think Tim McClellan's been very good today. If it's a strike, he's called it. If it's just missed, he hasn't called it.
And David Murphy slices this one down the line in left field. It's a fair ball. Here comes 1 run. Rounding third and headed home is Yorvi Torrealba. And the Rangers have taken the lead. A 2-run double by David Murphy.
That ball hit the chalk. It looked like it could go either way. And fortunately for the Rangers, that white chalk just kicked up. And David's ball stayed fair for a 2-run double. Boy, that's a judicious use of a pinch hitter right there.
That's going with your gut.
Now, look at that pitch, too. That's not a strike. That pitch is outside. And David just slices it right down the line. Why he's such a good hitter.
Look at that chalk just kicked up. That was like a cloud of dust. And here comes Ian Kinsler. He's bunting, but it's foul.
Right on the chalk line. Wow. David Murphy getting some chance in the stands right now.
He is a fan favorite, and rightly so on this day. The crowd is on their feet. David is too down at second base.
A lot of pitches for Bard in this inning. He's well over 20 pitches so far.
And he's 1-1 with Ian.
It all started with the 3-2 pitch to Napoli. 1 out, nobody on. And Bard threw him a 3-2 slider. He's throwing 98 miles an hour. He threw him a slider for ball 4. Torrealba ripped a single, and a double, scored 2 runs.
And there's another one ripped but foul. So it's 1-2 to Ian Kinsler. Ian led off the game with a home run. Rangers have had the lead for much of the game. And the strength of the Mike Napoli 3-run homer. Bard checks Murphy at second base. Crowd doesn't like it.
Big crowd, and they're, for the most part, except for a few spots in the upper deck, they're pretty much still here.
All still here.
Which I guess you would expect on opening day of a great ball game.
What a game
it has been a great ball game, too, boy.
Another one fouled by Ian. Even the people out there in the office building, there's no work getting done in the office building out there. We don't always see that, but look at them out there just hanging off the balconies. I wouldn't be doing any work today either.
No, shouldn't have to do any work on opening day.
No. That's what I love about having opening day on Friday. Get the weekend started just right with a Rangers victory. 1-2 to Ian, and he strikes him out swinging. So there are 2 away.
Good high fastball at 96 miles an hour. Tough pitch up and away like that hard.
It'll bring up Elvis Andrus. Elvis is 1 for 4 in his career against Bard.
David's a ways removed, David Murphy, from being a Red Sox. Of course, came over here in the Gagne trade.
That one is into the gap in right center field and down. Elvis Andrus is headed towards second. David Murphy scores, and the Rangers lead it 8-5.
Nothing wrong with a little insurance run. I'm just going to mention it. David started his career as a Red Sox, was traded to the Rangers. And while I don't think he's got any kind of revenge motives, it still has to feel nice to do well against your former team. And good job by Elvis getting on top of a high inside pitch and shooting it out in the gap in right center field for a nice insurance run.
And here comes Josh Hamilton. He's got a walk to show for 4 trips to the plate.
You know, it's loud up here in the booth, but during the playoffs, I was sitting in different seats. One time out in the home run porch, it was so loud out there that you couldn't even hear yourself think. It's entirely different down there.
Waving a miss by Hamilton. You know, I heard from a lot of people that was the loudest they'd ever heard anything.
Yeah.
And that was game 6 of that Yankees series when the Rangers won it. I was in a press box and in a suite throughout the game, so it didn't seem quite as loud to me.
Yeah, I don't think you hear it quite as much up here as you do down in the stands. And I'm sure it's that way today.
Yeah, they're very much into this game, and rightly so. Josh Hamilton slices it foul. And into that sea of red and blue as David Murphy and Ian Kinsler and Nelly have a little chat about David's heroics. Texas pretty good with runners in scoring position today, 3 for 8. Another one in scoring position now for Josh. See if they can make it 4 for 9. The 32nd pitch of the inning by Bard is not a strike. Rangers trying to extend their opening day winning streak to 3 games. They've won the previous 2 openers, both of those here at Rangers Ballpark. And Josh Hamilton hits this one high to left field, slicing and foul just out of the reach of Carl Crawford. Speedy Crawford got all the way over to the tarp to try and make the play. And we remind you to follow the Texas Rangers all season long at MLB.com. At Bat 11 for your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, or BlackBerry. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit TexasRangers.com for details. High and away for a ball to make it 2-2 to Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, Bard's going to pitch himself right out of tomorrow's game with the pitch count he's at right now.
Yeah,
he's his 35th pitch right here.
Jeez. Right at a 1.93 ERA last year.
He's top of the line. The Rangers just worked him over.
Yep.
I still think if he could second guess anything this inning, he'd throw Napoli a fastball on a 3-2 pitch. The walk got everything started. He threw him a slider and Napoli laid off it.
Yorvit Torrealba followed with his first career hit as a Ranger. And both scored on David Murphy's double. David came home on the double by Elvis Andrus. And now Elvis is out there at second base. And here's the full count to Josh Hamilton. Working against Daniel Bard, who's sneaking up on 40 pitches now. He's at 36 for the inning. 21 strikes, 15 balls. And a lot of heat mixed in. And another one sliced foul as Josh stays alive, and we'll do the full count thing over again.
You can tell Josh's timing is just a tick off. He's had a couple pitches today. He had the hanging curveball from John Lester that he just got underneath a little bit. That was a fastball. Now, sure, it's 96 miles an hour, so it's not a normal fastball. I think when Josh is in a good groove, that's a ball he probably hits pretty hard. He's up there battling.
And he rips that one into right field. Rounding third and heading home is Elvis Andrus. Josh Hamilton is in at second base with a double, and the Rangers lead it 9-5.
A couple of big hits for insurance runs in this game. Elvis was a big one, and now Josh the same thing. And that's exactly what Josh was doing in that at bat. He was up there battling. He saw a lot of pitches. He fouled some off, and then on this one, he gets a hanging slider, and he took advantage of this. Inside part of the plate. Pretty good swing on it. Kept it fair. And Rangers played another insurance run. Big inning against a really good relief pitcher.
A relief pitcher whose day is over. Daniel Bard is done, thanks in part to Josh Hamilton. And the knuckleballer who we referenced earlier with Charlie Huff, Tim Wakefield, is coming in to pitch next. We talk about him and finish this one out coming up next on Fox. For the Rangers, 5-7-1 for the Boston Red Sox. And we say hi to Dana Larson, who's over there at the Rangers live set. Hi, Dana.
Hi, John. We just want to remind everybody, but the first edition of Rangers Live, the post-game show, will be coming up right after this one. Jim Sundberg, Steve Busby will join me, and we have a team of reporters working the clubhouse to bring you tons of player reaction. And also, we'll get you set for Game 2 of this season and this series, and also the ring ceremony, which will be part of our pregame festivities tomorrow. We'll carry it for you live. I actually got a replica of one of the rings here. It's not quite as shiny or big as the ones the players are going to be getting, but you know what? It's pretty cool to have it. I may have to get it resized. I'm having some issues here with this, but certainly you're going to want to check out those rings the players get tomorrow. We've got all that coming up after the game, guys.
Dana, that's great stuff. You were with me at the luncheon yesterday, so we've seen the real thing, and they do look a little bit different. They are a little more shiny, but Monday, all the fans get one of those replica rings if you come to that game against the Mariners. Wakefield with a quick walk to Adrian Beltre.
Yep, big 8th inning for the Rangers. They've batted around. Michael Young will be the 9th hitter of this inning. Still a couple of men on base.
It's Beltre at first base, Josh Hamilton at second. Rangers had 3 doubles and 4 hitters, interrupted only by the Ian Kinsler strikeout in the inning. And they've scored 4 in the 8th. What a difference. Thankfully, nobody saw Bard and then Wakefield, but to see Wakefield throwing as high as 98 miles an hour and then Bard tossing it up at 64. I mean, it's opposite, other way around. Bard's so fast and Wakefield so slow.
You can see looks like a different mitt that Salty's got on there. It looks almost like a first baseman's mitt that he's using against or with Wakefield to try to catch that knuckleball. In fact, it pretty much is a first baseman's mitt.
Michael hits this one to right field. Cameron has a beat on it and makes the play. The side is retired, but not before they scored 4 runs. David Murphy with the first 2. He got it going with the double that scored 2, and it was on the chalk. And the Rangers are on the job. They lead it now 9-5. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by Ford, the biggest, the best, the one you don't want to miss. It is Truck Month, only at your Texas Ford dealer. Ninth inning on tap as David Murphy now moves into left field. Josh Hamilton has moved over to center field. And the new pitcher is Neftali Feliz.
It's hard to pinch hit. That's a hard job. And especially when you come in and face a guy that's throwing as hard as Bard is. And then to hit the pitch David hit, a pitch that's probably 3 inches outside. The way he hit it down the left field line, that's a great at bat, huge at bat in this game.
David stays in and left, and now Feliz works against Jared Saltalamacchia. Salty fouls this one back, and after falling behind 2-0, it's now 2-2. David Murphy came out of spring training saying he wanted to get off to a better start than he has in the last couple of years. Remember, he was 0 for 23 2 years ago, 0 for his first 23. I would say he's done that. Wave and a miss, and Salty's down on strikes. Home Depot brings us the defense of the American League title. You check it out here with David Murphy. There's the first double of the inning as it catches chalk and scores 2 runs, followed by an Elvis Andrus double. That brought David Murphy home. And then Josh Hamilton had a double to bring Elvis home. Josh goes all the way to the corner in right field. And we are doing more on defense. That is the defense of the American League Championship. Marco Scutaro now the batter. The Red Sox find themselves in a 4-run hole, having tied the game up in the 8th on a solo shot to center field by David Ortiz. .94 miles an hour from Nefty.
We saw Neffy a couple of times in spring training, and in one of his starts he popped a couple up there at 98, but most part he hasn't broken out that 98 to 100 mile an hour fastball. He's kind of cruising right now, although it's kind of a lot of times when he pitched last year would inch up along the way. He'd start out at 91 or 92, and that last one was 95, and by the time he gets done, it's usually right back up where you expect it to be.
Sort of like that race car driver that has an extra gear.
Yeah.
Take it to the next gear.
Wants to keep it there in case he needs it.
Yeah. No sense wasting it. The 2-2. Popped up high and straight back, right in front of us.
And that last one was 96, so that's right about where you expect.
And so it's 2-2 to Scutaro. That one's a little high and away to make it a full count.
That's the cutter, I think, that he's been working on. Pretty much as a fastball, he just cuts it a little bit to make it move away from the right-hand hitter.
Came in at 91 miles an hour. And another foul by Scutaro, who making Nefty work a little bit here. American League Rookie of the Year after a 40-save season. Nefty Feliz back in that familiar closer's role. And this one has popped up sky high and also out of play. Back in front of us. And a fan makes a pretty nice play on it without a glove. So we'll stay at 3-2, and this is the 9th pitch to Scutaro. Give him some credit. And he grounds it towards Napoli. Nefty over to make the play. Napoli loses it and then regains it, and what a play.
Yeah, that looks like a simple play, but once Mike bobbled it, it's hard for Neffy to get there and keep his foot on the bag because he's timing it to get there originally when Mike catches the ball. So he thinks it's coming now. He has to slow down. He has to look for the bag and time it, and they did it.
He slowed his gait, though, dramatically, didn't he?
Yep. And Mike didn't panic. He stayed right with it.
Great play, and there are 2 away.
That's a great shot of it, too, in slow motion.
The Rangers 1 out away from an opening day win against the Boston Red Sox. And it's the top of the order against Nefty. 15 pitches so far. Ellsbury's been a tough out. In fact, he hasn't made an out all day. And once again, Feliz is behind 2-0. But he's been behind the other 2 hitters in the inning, 2-0 as well. Ellsbury turns away from that one, and it's 3-0.
He's talking to himself, trying to concentrate. Sometimes it's easier for a closer to come in a 1-run game and concentrate than it is with a 4-run lead.
There's a strike. Ellsbury wasn't so sure. Tim McClellan was, and so was Ron Washington. Wave and a miss by Ellsbury, and the count is full. Crowd of 50,146 on their feet. Very few of them have left Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And he got him swinging. Nefty Feliz and the Rangers with a victory. They come back and win it by a final of 9-5. There you go, boys. Win number 1 of the season. And the Rangers are 1-0.
A good all-around game for the offense. Some big home runs, a big double by David Murphy, a couple of doubles for insurance runs. One by Josh, one by Elvis. Good solid start for C.J. Wilson, who unfortunately didn't get the win. Darren Oliver gets the win. But good relief pitching, a good all-around ball game. High fastball, a little bit out of the strike zone, but Ellsbury couldn't lay off it. 2 strikeouts for Neffy. And as you said, John, a big win on opening day in front of a great crowd. Everybody's going home happy today.
We've got Rangers Live coming your way. That is Dana Larson and Steve Busby and a cast of thousands as we bring you the most complete post-game show we can possibly provide. 9-5, the opening day win for the Rangers. Rangers Live coming your way next.